They thought we wasn't paying attention. Yeah. Yo, Imani, talk your talk. Facts, facts. I came with receipts, I ain't come to play. Expose every lie they've been selling all day. Head held high, I ain't ducking no smoke. So, truth hit harder when the system broke. Talk to 'em. I came with receipts, every file got names. Everybody loud till accountability came. We ain't moving in fear, we applying that heat. Better tighten up now, cause I brought the receipts. Let's go, let's go. See the cameras flash when the hearings start. Whole room shook when they spoke from the heart. Trying to cut me off, now I claim my time. Every interruption just exposed the crime. History long, but the memory longer. Pressure make diamonds, pressure make stronger. You can twist headlines, spin every thread. Can't rewrite facts when the truth been said. Everybody gangster behind that desk. To the numbers show the public been stressed. Families hurting while they paint pretty pictures. Meanwhile, pockets getting thin about a minute. Facts. They don't stop capping quick gas like games. People buy eggs with a pocket full of change. You can fake statistics on a PowerPoint slide, but the checkout line don't never lie. Who gon' speak? We will. Who gon' fight? All night. Who gon' stand when they kill our rights? We will, we will. I came with receipts, I ain't come to play. Expose every lie they've been selling all day. Head held high, I ain't ducking no smoke. Truth hit harder when the system broke. Let's ride, let's ride. I came with receipts, every file got names. Everybody loud till accountability came. We ain't moving in fair, we applying that heat. Better tighten up now, cause I brought the receipts. Courtrooms echo but the streets hit louder. Every bad ruling made the movement prouder. Take one vote, then we register 10. Built from the block, let the people win. Can't silence voices born from struggle. Built these dreams through pain and hustle. Grandma marched so I could speak. Now I'm 10 toes down every single week. Every chapter got another revelation. People waking up across the nation. Ain't no crime without confrontation. Truth is the spark for transformation. Wake up, ain't about left, ain't about right. It's about wrong hiding under bright lights. Question everything, don't question names. Power belongs to the people, not fame. If they tell you hush, if they tell you wait, move now. If they tell you quit, if they shut one door, if they shut one door, build more doors. Look. Look, I don't need permission. I was born with a mission. Every generation got a choice. I'm choosing resistance. Feel like a weapon, mic like a torch. Truth keep burning till it let the hope pour. Kingdoms fall when the people unite. Darkness disappear when they turn on the light. Ain't chasing black, I'm chasing change. Every verse another broken chain. Break it, break it, break it. Every sister standing up. Every brother finding peace. Every time watching us. Learning courage, don't decrease it, multiplies. I came with receipts. I ain't come to play. Truth don't fall when the headlines fade. Built for the pressure, built for the fight. We keep pushing till the future look bright. Let's go. Hands to the sky, voices repeat. Justice ain't giving you earn every seat. From the block to the ballot, from the mic to the street. We ain't leaving to the people. Complete the mission. The mission fast, the movement. Stand up, no fear. We brought the receipts. Truth. Everybody got a panel. Everybody got a problem. Let's talk about it. Why everybody beefing? Nobody believing. Everybody scheming. Everybody streaming. Started as a work, now the whole thing bleeding. Fake friends switch sides every season. New face, new team, new lie every evening. Everybody hungry for the clicks and the reasons. Views up, drama get the views up. Look, everybody suddenly a journalist now. Microphone tough with the filters and cloud. They don't even know what the culture about. Just smell a little smoke, then it rain in the house. Boxing set, they're looking WWE. Fake press conference from reality TV. Started with a live stream, now they selling PPV. Best friends yesterday, now they scream RIP. Cat ding, ding, ding. Another fake rivalry. Cameraman zoom while they build hostility. Comments get toxic, ego get slippery. Now the work turn real and destroy the chemistry. Used to throw punches in the ring for sport. Now they throw friends under buses for support. Everybody got receipts and folders and reports. Whole sector acting like spiritual court. Site TC spilling all all over timeline, screenshots, leak calls, everybody prime time, no context, just captions and headlines. So get traded for algorithm deadlines. And I ain't saying everybody fake, but let's be honest, peace don't pay. Or we worked it out, get ignored all day, but I exposed him, get 100K. Why everybody beefing, nobody believing, everybody scheming, everybody streaming. Started as a work, now the whole thing bleeding. Fake friends, switch sides, every season switch side. New face, new tea, new lie every evening. Everybody hungry for the clicks and the reasons. Views up, drama, get the views up. See the algorithm hunters lurking in the dark, jumping in beefs just to build up a spark. Never put work in, never had heart. Now they commentary kings from a Walmart cart. Everybody got an inside source now, everybody got a truth exposed now. Soon as the views dip low, somehow they manufacture anger just to go viral. It's a circus with ring lights, people losing real friends over click bites. Whole panel screen fights every midnight, then they text backstage like, you good, right? Girl, bye. But the fans can't tell where the script ends. Creators crash out just to trend again. You can see the pain underneath the grin. Souls exhausted, but they live stream again. How many friendships gotta die for content? How many people gotta bleed for engagement? How many ops y'all gonna create before y'all realize the audience addicted to the chaos too? And the algorithm know it. Why everybody beefing, nobody believing, everybody scheming, everybody streaming. Whole internet war, but nobody winning. Everybody loud, but nobody listening. Cloud got them spiraling, crashing, tripping, turning fake smoke into real life endings. Views up, drama, get the views up. Maybe the real fight ain't each other. Yeah. Every time I think we finally figured it out. Somebody let pride walk in. Somebody let ego take the wheel. Damn. We're stronger together. Yeah. We're stronger together. Yeah. We started with a vision, lift each other high, turn these little channels into reasons people smile. Shared every live stream, dropped each other's names. Now we're acting like we're strangers in the game. Clicks over compassion, views over truth. Everybody chasing numbers, who's chasing the youth? Every week another friendship breaking at the seams. How we building kingdoms if we're tearing up the team? We get so close, I can almost see it. One big family, everybody eating. Then pride shows up and the love disappear. Now all I hear is silence in my ear. Damn, why we always fall apart? Damn, who taught us to guard our hearts? We rise together, then divide again. I still believe we can still win, but damn, it hurts to watch. Everybody say we family, till the camera stop rolling. Everybody say I love you, till somebody else is growing. One blessing shouldn't threaten mine. God made enough sunlight for everybody to shine. Somebody getting 50 views, somebody getting 50,000. While we counting blessings like love is running out, then what if your breakthrough was connected to my hand? What if heaven's waiting for us to understand? Maybe the algorithm ain't the enemy. Maybe fear is, maybe competition is. Maybe we're starving for applause when we should be feeding purpose. I ain't perfect, I got scars too. I misunderstood people, people misunderstood me too. But if we never heal, We'll repeat the pain, different faces, same old game. Children watching, learning from my way. Seeing grown folks scold each other away. What are we teaching? What's left behind? If all they remember is how we couldn't unify. Damn, 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 I can almost hear the future calling. Damn, 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 why we keep stumbling when we're walking? There's room for me, there's room for you. Success ain't smaller because somebody else broke through. One life can start another. One voice can lift another. One dream can wake a nation if we stop competing and start creating. One day, the subscribers won't matter, the views won't matter, the money won't matter. People will remember who made them feel seen, who reached back instead of reaching over. Maybe unity isn't something we wait for. Maybe it's something we become. We're still here. We're still family. We can still get it right. Damn, damn, but I still believe. Damn, 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 but I still believe. Yeah. Everybody got a version of me. But this is my truth. Got opinions, never ask me who I am. Read one page, close the book, now they think they understand. They call my kindness weakness, my forgiveness being blind. But I just refuse to let this cold world see my shine. I've been stabbed in the back, still I lead with love. Lost a lot of people, still I look above. Smile through the pressure, I survive the rain. Turn my tears into diamonds, turn my losses into gain. Don't mistake my silence for not seeing. Peep every vibe, every switch, every reason. When to leave without making a scene. I'm misunderstood, it's alright, God's still right. Every line, I'm more than labels, more than pain, more than every rumor attached to my name. If you really wanna know me, walk beside me, not behind me, not around me. Yeah. Multifaceted, diamonds got more than one side. Some days I'm the storm, some days I'm the sunrise. I make my own choices, I stand on my own feet. Can't nobody live my purpose or rewrite my dreams. God gave me free will, I'm gonna use mine. If I stumble, I get up every single time. I answer to my conscience in heaven above. Not strangers who mistake my beat for giving up. I won't scream to fit your comfort, I won't dim. To feed your ego with freedom looks different. Then let me be different. Still I'm standing, still believing, still becoming. Maybe if we listen before we judge, we discover we all carry invisible scars. So before you decide somebody is, learn what they survived. It's all, it's for every soul who's ever felt misunderstood. Misunderstood.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Golden and Child. We is back with another live. We had so much fun yesterday, y'all. I don't know if y'all checked out our live from yesterday. If you didn't, please check it out. But we have something else we're gonna do here as well. And talk about, which is basically, celebrity gossip with purpose. So we will be listening to an interview, right? And making our commentary about some of the things that's basically being talked about in the interview. That's how it goes. Um, what's up, y'all? Y'all probably gonna be able to hear my son in the background, and I do apologize. I be trying to keep him quiet. Mama be trying to keep him quiet, but he be in there playing with her while I'm doing the live. So, child, y'all probably gonna hear him. Um, before we go ahead and get into the child, I'm gonna have to get him to be quiet. Before we go ahead and get into the content, let me do a shout out to everybody and thank y'all for coming. So, what's up, Lacey? Hey, Star. Thank y'all for coming in. I really appreciate it. I know dropping the T, you popped in as well, girl. What's up, girl? Thank you for coming in. Hey, Daisy. Thank you for coming in, Daisy. Mama Warrior, she's gonna be in the background. What's up, Polo? How you doing? Thank you for coming in too. And of course, I have my lovely co-host back with me again. Imani is back today, y'all. She took a day off yesterday because I told her she needs to rest because we have to rest sometime. It's very important. But it's about 5:40 p.m. here. It's a little bit later than usual. Than when we come live, but life be life and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Um, Yes, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day in whatever time zone it is you are in, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night. We're gonna go ahead and just pop right into it. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up my lovely co-host Imani. So Imani, girl, how you doing? How you feeling? How you chilling? I'm glad you was able to get that rest yesterday. Thank you for coming back today. And we're gonna talk about this topic. We'll get into it. But how are you, girl? What's up?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm feeling better today. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed you. Had a good live yesterday with the guys about relationships. That was good, actually. That was a fun conversation. But yeah, I'm good. I know I popped in briefly yesterday, but I couldn't stay for long. But yeah, I'm good. It's still warm here. We're still having a heat wave. And yeah, I've been speaking to some of my friends also in Colombia as well, because obviously the earthquake as well there. So they're having a tough time. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on around the globe. So, but otherwise, I'm okay.
That's good to hear. That is good to hear. We did have a bit of fun yesterday, y'all. The guys was over here and we was just cutting it up and kicking it up and having a good time. And we will be reporting on that earthquake that's in Colombia because um, that's serious. So we'll be speaking on that. And on one of our next lives, we'll go back, to some regular stuff. I just know that sometimes a lot of these things that we are dealing with in our own lives and a lot of things that's happening worldwide, it can be very heavy and it can be very depressing. And so we wanted to try to come and like kind of cut that up a little bit by bringing some things that are more fun and we can laugh, and get our minds off of the things we may be struggling through or going through. And just give a little bit of a fun outlet. But it is important also to bring these things to the platform so people can know it's a lot of people out here. We are going through stuff all over the globe. Okay, people are struggling, and that's what we talk about over here. But I ain't gonna hold y'all too long for that. Imani, we do have some housekeeping to do. I'm gonna let you go ahead and kick that off like you do so well, and then after you done, girl, I'll get into mine.
Yeah, I'm not going on a tear up today. I'm just going to talk about spin and looking at full context. Yeah, and before we start the live today, I want to be clear about a couple of things that Golden and I have talked about, um, and a narrative and spin is being put on them that I'm not comfortable with, and you know, we need to correct. there's the first narrative that's being pushed is that to make it appear as though Golden was comparing Nolan Wells' unaliving to cyber stalking and harassment and YouTube disagreements. This is not what she said. And before people start talking about what she says, they need to go and listen to what she's actually saying on the live. She was not minimizing Nolan Wells' death or comparing it to YouTube drama or suggesting that online harassment was somehow equivalent to the loss of a human life. Her point was about perspective and priorities. She said there's a lot of issues happening in the world: war, violence, Nolan Wells, and other serious matters affecting real people and communities. And her point was perhaps maybe people, rather than focusing on her life and her stuff, might want to focus on some of those issues. And rather than focusing on these minuscule things that don't concern people, larger issues could perhaps do with more of our attention. It's totally up to people what their content is. Yes, we do agree with that. But that was what she was saying. She was not using equivalence in arguments to be equal to an 18-year-old's passing. And taking that message and turning it into Golden is comparing her YouTube problems to Nolan Wells is not simply a difference of opinion. It changes the total meaning of what she was saying. And we need to be careful about that. There's another important point that needs to be addressed. When I questioned the weaponization of poverty and people's appearance and asked, what example are we setting for our kids? I wasn't talking about specific children. I was asking a broader community question. I was asking, can we examine our behavior and consider what values we're demonstrating to the next generation? I was saying, are we teaching our children to look down on people because they have less? Because by calling someone a Section 8 bitch, you're basically weaponizing poverty. And to actually say, the person that actually said that the person that the response was because someone talked about somebody's child, you're also misrepresenting what happened on the live. And the person who you're talking about did not know the age of the child, and she has made it quite clear several times she didn't know the age of the child she was talking about when she said it. So once again, you're spreading misinformation, not only about the context of what I said, but what the actual person did on the live and has clarified many times, because you're trying to spin a narrative that is simply not true. And I was saying that, are we teaching children that someone's financial situation makes them less worthy of dignity and respect? Because there are others out here on Section 8 and benefits that may be listening when you're talking and may be feeling bad when you're calling people Section 8 bitches, because they're thinking, I'm less than because I get benefits. That is what I was saying. And anybody can go back and listen to that live, because we don't take our lives down. We have them there for you to listen to, and listen to exactly what was said on the live. And I was also asking, are we teaching our children compassion, responsibility, empathy, and humanity? The question was about the example we collectively set as a community, not an accusation directed at one person's child. Again, taking a broad question, our collective responsibility, and turning it into a claim that I was attacking or talking about specific children is another example of taking words out of context to create a damaging narrative. And I can see what you're doing, and you're continuing to do it. You're continuing to spread that narrative. The live is there. I reiterated what I said. I actually read what I said. You actually played it on your live as I said it. And nowhere in there am I attacking someone's child. So stop the spin. Stop trying to weaponize what I say and make out like I talk about people's children. People are entitled to disagree. They can challenge opinions. They can say they would have expressed something differently. That's fair. But what isn't fair is taking a statement, stripping away its context, and assigning an entirely different meaning and then circulating that interpretation as though it was something that was actually said. And ultimately, it's not just about us. It's about how we communicate with one another, how we communicate what others are saying. If we want to have meaningful conversations about serious matters, we should be able to discuss it with the seriousness and dignity that it deserves, and not try and include it in a narrative that you want to spin about someone because you don't like them. If we want to talk about poverty, appearance, dignity, or how a society treats vulnerable people, we should be able to have conversations without deliberately turning the question about our collective behavior into an accusation about specific children. And stop telling lies. Stop lying so that you can spin a narrative that's untrue. Conversations, they don't have to compete with one another. We can mourn a death, we can demand answers, and we can oppose war, violence, politics, anything. And we can teach our children compassion. And we can hold ourselves accountable for the example we set. And if people think that's me being superior, I don't think I'm superior to anybody. I'm giving my opinion. If you think I'm superior to you, then that's a you problem, not me. So stop accepting narratives designed to provoke anger and stop trying to spin narratives designed to provoke anger about people. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're going to get exposed every time because the lives are there for people to listen to. Stop lying about people. Go back to the actual words and look at the context and ask what was being communicated. Because you need to look at perspective and you need to be accountable for some of the crap you're doing. Because she was talking about perspective, accountability, compassion, and unity. And perhaps the most positive thing we can take from all of this, stop trying to tear down people's channels. Stop trying to talk about what we do and how we do it. If you can't do it, that's a you problem. But you seem to have a lot to say about how we put our content together. And to me, it sounds like you're a little jealous because you can't do it, because you can only talk about other people. And that's not my problem. That's not Golden's problem. That's a you problem. Choose better. Try and do better for a change. Maybe go back and talk about BJ. Is she investigating? I don't know. Have you got any content that's not about other people? Try doing your own stuff and stop looking at what we're doing and trying to defame us and trying to denigrate the content that we present. We can't help it if we have other things to talk about that are not other people. That's your problem. You like to go into people's Amazon list and then start shaming them for asking people to buy stuff that they need. That's what's called poverty shaming. And if I think that you're out of order for saying it, for saying things like that, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Because you don't even think about all the people that are going through hard times, who don't have money, who might be on benefits, who might have had a job last week. And you're there shaming people because they're on benefits. Shame on you. Try and raise the level of the conversation because you're taking it to the mud on a daily basis. And don't try and spin my words. And don't try and misrepresent what is said on lives because it suits your narrative. Stay on your own channel. Do your own stuff. Or go wherever you want to go. But leave us alone because we're not interested in what you're doing. You keep talking about how we put our content together. Why don't you take a few lessons? And maybe you might be able to play a video and talk at the same time. I'm tired of this. We're choosing. Seriously, I'm tired of it. Tired of it. Every minute they're talking about Chat GBT. How do you know we use Chat GBT?
Yo, my whole thing is like, why don't you use it? Like, use it. It's an AI tool. Use it. It might help you. Get your content done better. Like
It might
you're so
help you stop calling people pick me bitches, low life scum. It might broaden your vocabulary a bit. And like I said, it's not my fault that
they
I'm a
teach you how to
black
sell.
woman with education and I've lived a very full life and I've had experience of a lot of stuff. You called me a superior bitch. Yeah, I know I'm superior to you because you're in
Wow.
the mud.
Like, to me, I feel like wow. Because my thing is, when have you ever come off or give off any type of energy that you're superior than anybody? Is it because you're intellectual? Is it because of your accent? Is it
I,
because of how we put together
I,
our
I
content?
don't even consider myself to be an intellectual. I study, I do research, and I've got life experience. It's not my fault I can talk about the things that I know and I've researched, but you talk about things that you don't know and you've never experienced. That's a you problem, not a me problem. So
And
we're
you
going to
also
choose,
choose
but
to
listen,
do
we're going to choose the truth over the spin, the context over the outrage, and the compassion over the cruelty, and unity over division. And if that makes you feel bad, if that makes you feel that I'm holier than thou, I'd rather be me than you. And I'm going to pray for you. Pray for you to do better content. Pray for you to stop attacking people unnecessarily. Pray for you to find peace and happiness and maybe have a good date night every now and again. And that's it for me.
child. We're gonna save our Liberty Bells of Freedom for Friday. We won't ring them today. Anyway, child. Okay, so everything that you said, Imani, per usual, I absolutely agree with. Like, because we have these concepts, we talk about what is going on, right? And then when we come, we do our housekeeping. It's based off of that. Lord, child, I'm telling you, I'm tired. I'm tired. There's a lot of people that's tired. We ready to quit, child, but we can't quit because this is a fight that's important. We are fighting against a structure, a system. I don't know what it is. But we know where it starts and we see how it trickles down. That is our movement. That is what we want to do. That's what we have chosen to do. And we're going to continue to do it. We'll kick in the door if we have to do it. Okay? So, a lot of times, these people will find anything they can say or they can do to discredit you, discredit your character, tear down your channel. Why? Why? Because we only really speaking the truth. Why are you upset about that? Why does that make you so triggered? If it's not true, then you wouldn't be triggered. That's the way I feel about it. I feel like hit dogs holler.
Or if it don't apply, let it fly.
Right. So I don't understand why these people go off in these tangents and get so upset when we call certain, patterns of behavior out. If that's not your pattern of behavior, if that's not what you're doing, if that's not who you are and how you move and how you operate, then why are you so upset? Why are you so triggered? It's weird. You're giving yourself away. Your slip is showing. That's what my grandma used to say back in the day. Your slip is showing. And that's what we do over here. And that's what they don't like. And we will continue to do it because these individuals are the problem in our communities. They are the problem in this platform, and they're trying to keep it up. And people are saying, we want change. We want better. We want to see something different. We want different and better fun experiences when we come to this platform. And they try to label it the black tea sector. And then when people come to the black tea sector, this is what everybody's doing in the black tea sector. Do y'all not, are you understanding what they're trying to do and make us look like? Are you not getting that? Is it not wrapping around your mind and your brain? This is a operation. They are trying to make black people look bad. Do you understand that? And the ones that sit with the ones that are playing in the game of making black people look bad, those are the ones I definitely have a problem with them. I have a problem with all of it. And I will step up and pop up to any and each platform that I need to do so when it comes to that. Because my operation and my mission is we're going to show the world and we're going to show the people black people ain't this. We're more than that. We don't do this all day, every day. No, we don't. We come with history, politics, intellect, fun, comedy. We're a plethora of things. We more than just fighting with each other all day on this platform. And so if I got to pop out and I have to fight against the people who I see are trying to play in other people's faces that are not bright enough to see it, I will pop out on them and I will pop out on our own people that are not bright enough to see what is going on here. Because our people deserve better. That's number one. That's number one. Number two, to live in this world and have a better tomorrow than yesterday, we need unity. And there are people on this platform who are actively doing things to keep divide. And I see you. We see you. We watch you. We listen to you. We hear you. We know what you're doing. And I don't know who sent you. I don't know where you came from. But our mission is for unity of the people. All races. All races of people. We're not trying to see divide no more. We're not trying to fight each other no more. All of that leads to what? What do that lead to? Look at our ancestors. And y'all know we cover those topics over here. Look what they had to fight through and go through for us to have even the life that we live today. They went through a lot, didn't they? And for us to make sure our children and the youth future tomorrow is not today, we're going to have to fight, right? We're going to have to expose this stuff. We're going to have to point it out when we see it. We're going to have to nip it in the bud. And if you are on the same page, if that is something that you truly care about, then you will get on board. You will not fight against it. If you do, side eye. Side eye. Because I don't understand why anybody would want us to go back or want us to re-experience what our ancestors had experienced. That's what we talk about over here a lot of the time. Don't twist it. Don't misconstrue it. Don't go around and throw it around like I'm doing or we're doing something wrong over here. You're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. You're doing something embarrassing. Then we have these race wars. Pay attention to people's behaviors. Look at the people who sit with you. Look at what they say. Then you come back and you have a discussion with me. I'm not going to argue with these people over and over again. I may have to pop out every now and then and be like, yo. And a lot of times that's because they talking trash about me and my peoples and my family, my mother, my son. Who wouldn't stick up and stand up for their mother, for their child, for their reputation? Who wouldn't do that? Is that a wrong thing to do or is that a right thing to do? And I'm about to get into my housekeeping because it has a lot to do with this. I went on a channel of a Black woman where I was going there to see what was happening. I was told she was dragging me and my mother. So I said, let me go over there and see what she's talking about. Because, I take my trips, Imani. And I went over there to get clarity about the whole situation. And at the end of that, I was going to try to reconcile. Before that could happen, 3 white women came up on the platform and she allowed them to attack me and jump me. A Black woman did that. So when I say we need to get our shit all the way together, we need to get our shit all the way together. Because this type of stuff should not be happening amongst us. And this is all because these people perceive that I am now sitting and I have now given understanding and I am now spending time with someone that they deem to be racist. And then when I ask them, well, if she's racist, tell me what the definition of racist is. They can't give it to you. They can't give you no definitions. They won't explain to you what it is and why it is that they deem a person to be a certain way. And they know that they don't know because they don't do the research. They don't read. Give me a second, y'all. That was JJ coming out here to get a toy, y'all. Anyway, yeah, they don't read. They don't do the research. They don't do the content that we do. So you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't know, one. And it's really crazy that you say that you don't know what that looks like. You live that life. You're Black. This is the problem that I have with these people. And I'm going to tell you exactly what my problem is with them. They don't want to be Black. That's the problem. They don't think that they're Black. That's the problem. And so they don't understand. They want to wish it all away. You can't wish it away. You can't wish the ancestors away. You can't wish your experiences away. You can't wish what the world is like away. You can't wish it away. You sit over there and I said what I said, like I said it when I said it, because I know what it is when I see it. You sit over there thinking that you're not Black. You're Black. And there's a lot of people on this platform that move around and they operate and they try to make excuses and say that they're not Black. They don't understand Black history. I don't care where you reside in this world. You know Black history. You live it every day. So for me to go to a platform and a Black woman allow me to be jumped and terrorized, and she orchestrated this by 3 white women that were telling me to be quiet, telling me I can't speak, yelling at me as if they're superior. I need us to use our brains. What do you think that looks like? Huh? What do you think that sounds like? And people always want to say it's always a race issue with me. It's a race issue with the negativity when it comes between the disconnect and the divide of the races. On my platform, I'm trying to unite us. On your platform, you sit with people who want to divide us. Make that make sense. Because you don't love yourself. You don't like yourself. And it's very obvious. I pay close attention to you, and a lot of other people have. These people don't want to be black. They hate that they were born black. They wish that they were white. They wish that they were royalty. They wish that they lived a different life, but you don't. You got what you gave. That's it. That's all. You were put on this earth as a black woman. Deal with it. Navigate through it the right way, not the sellout way, not the coon way. And I'll repeat anything that I say and did, because that's what I see you as. So let that be very clear. And then we sit in this sector where black people are scared to speak up and say anything about it. I'm not scared to say it. I will say it all day. From the time the sun comes up until the time the moon is up in the sky. I will say it. I will call it out. I will point it out. And I'll do what I have to do to fight against it. Because people with that type of mindset, you are the problem. We're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to get anywhere as a people with that type of mindset, those type of actions and behaviors. You need to check yourself. There's something wrong with you. Why are you not proud to be black? Why? And your actions and your behaviors show us, as the people who watch you, that you don't like being black. We know that. I have a little bit more housekeeping, but you can go, Imani, and then we really got to get into the content because it's almost been an hour.
Yeah, well, listen, I would just say that all races are welcome here. We're not into this division. We're not into this tearing people down. People are entitled to have their content. But when you see particular people that are here to cause chaos and disruption and cause other people to attack one another, watch the play, because they're interlopers that don't appreciate the culture. Because I appreciate the culture. I have a lot of affinity with this culture because I have been around it a long time. I have lived in the US. So I know the culture. And that's not my fault if others don't understand or appreciate the culture as a guest. But you think that you're entitled to attack people from this culture, whether they're white or black. You're an agent of chaos, and you always have been. But you think you could pick people off because you think that people don't care about that person, so you can attack them. And I'm talking about the specific person who is from across the water, close to where I reside. You don't appreciate the culture. You think you're here to oppress the culture and oppress people that you think that others don't care about, or channels that others don't care about. We see you. We see what you're doing. I may be a black woman and I may be from the UK, but I have similar experiences and I understand the culture and I love the culture. And I am glad that I'm able to present some content with Golden, which is about things that I teach young children in Pan African schools in the UK. That's why I do Black History. But you are here to divide and conquer and attack, whether it's black men, black women, or white Americans. But you're here to disrupt and destroy. And it's not acceptable. And then anybody that's adjacent to those people, you think you have a license to attack them. I appreciate I appreciate people from different cultures because I'm well traveled and my family is mixed with a lot of different cultures. It's called cultural appreciation, not destruction, which is what you're trying to do because you think
No,
you're entitled to do it, because you think you have a license to do it. You think you have a license to talk about people's personal problems and their court cases that you know nothing about and you were never around for. Talk about your own life and your own issues. I don't talk about things that I know nothing about that are people's personal issues. I don't dox people. I don't look up people's addresses. I don't send demand letters for $5,000 just because I think I can scare people. Then tell them that would be, um, I would win because you're a black woman. Yeah, we read that email and you didn't like it, but it was factual because that's what you did. And you distressed a disabled woman by sending it to her address from some AI petty lawsuit place without your address on it. Why? Because you think you can be anonymous on here attacking people. It doesn't go that way. Leave people alone. Do some content about yourself. Talk about your family life. I don't talk about my family life because I don't talk about others' family lives. Because their lives are their business. I wasn't around for it. I don't know what happened. And quite frankly, most of the time, I don't care. All I care about is delivering content. You care about what other people are doing and screenshotting everybody all over the internet. Do you ever sleep? My God. Anyway, that's me.
all right. So let's just say what I said. We'll just keep that as my housekeeping because we already been here an hour. Let's get into the content. And shout out to everybody who has come in to listen and join. What's up, Ross? I see V Love is back. What's up, V Loss? How you doing? We're gonna go ahead and get into the content, y'all, because I know we held y'all a bit long with that housekeeping, but we need to make that clear. My dogs is killing each other in the background. But anyway, y'all, so let me go ahead and tell y'all what we'll be getting into. As you can see in the title, we're going to be listening to a conversation with Jess Hilarious and Angie Martinez, one of our favorites, over on the IRL platform. And she opens up about her career evolution from viral comedian to prominent radio personality. A major focus of the interview was dealing with public perception and the constant critique that her personality is too loud, too extra, or too much. The conversation explores how energy expressive individuals often get mischaracterized and why it is crucial to recognize that being too much usually just means overflowing in spaces that are too small. So, y'all, let's go ahead and pop this up real quick. We're going to go ahead and play a little bit of the video. Let me get my banners up and everything set up. Give me just a sec, y'all. All righty. Let's see what we got here. There we go. Let me pop this banner up. And y'all know, per usual, as we listen together, we're going to meet y'all over in the chat and then we'll do our breaks and whatnot in between so we can talk about the conversation. But I think it really applies to a lot of the things that we've been seeing and experiencing recently on the platform. So y'all let me know if it's a good conversation. Let me know if y'all like it. Chime in with us. We'll meet you over in the chat.
Thing. And now sometimes you can be like too much for people. And I've been told that, like,
tone it down. Like you know, that Baltimore can't come with you. Which I mean, that's what got me here, you know. Evolution is beautiful, but like, I will never lose my core.
Thanks for watching, guys. Today's episode is brought to you by Boost Mobile. She grew up in West Baltimore with a mouth that had no filter. She bet on herself with nothing but a phone, a desk, and a rehab center for at-risk kids, then went viral. Nick Cannon gave her shot. Martin Lawrence put her in front of 13,000 people. She earned her seat on the Breakfast Club table. But none of that is why she wrote her first book. She wrote it for every co-parent who's had to show up for a person who repeatedly broke their heart because their child needed them to. Comedian, actress, radio host, now author, and my girl, Jess Hilarious in real life in the building. Ow, ow, ow. Pew, pew, pew.
Oh my God, it's an honor to be here.
Jess with the mess and her news is real.
All the time. Hey, Angie.
Hi, Mama.
How are you?
How do you feel in that seat? Because I know you've been doing a lot of press since the book.
And I've been doing a lot of watching IRL, and I feel good to be here. Because, girl, you don't just be sitting down talking to anybody.
Oh, thank you.
You don't.
Mama.
So I love this. This is, oh my gosh.
Thank
you are radio royalty. So, of course.
Thank you.
Yes, I feel good sitting here.
Oh, you're a radio girl now too, like for real. Has that set in for you all the way yet?
No.
Because you're a comedian, right?
Yeah.
At first, so you're a comedian.
Yes.
And then you step right into this role with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I'm just saying, they put you in a
the lion's den.
The lion's den. Yes.
Sink or swim. You getting thrown in the water, shorty.
People don't always understand that.
Yeah.
Because if somebody sees talent and potential, and you always had talent, you had a following, you had a whole career before you hit the Breakfast Club, which we'll get into today. Mm-hmm. But that moment when you transition to something new, people just assume, oh, she's talented. Of course she could go do the Breakfast Club. Or of course she could go do radio. Or she could. But people don't always understand that when it's happening in real time, it's tricky. It's hard. It's new. It's like you're uncomfortable. What was that like for you, that moment?
Man, when I get there, because like you said, all the things, I already got my own brand. I already, like I'm used to saying whatever I want to say. I'm used to being unfiltered. Jess, you're
the big fish in your pond.
Yes. And then you are now in somebody else's pond, where it's two other big fish, they're dominant figures, alpha, everybody has their own big energy. And now you're like, damn, do I fall back? How do I fit in? Is everybody going to be susceptible to who I've been before I got here? Radio is so different because now I have to be censored. I can't say the things that I want to say. I gotta say them a different way.
You learned that shit early.
Learned it real quick. And I'm like, oh my God, that's why I want to do your podcast and not the radio. I'm like, no, I want to get real and shit. I want to say shit, bitch, fuck. I want to say all of that stuff. I can't do it. You know what I mean? And then getting up that early every day.
Woo!
Angie, I'm in my third year at the Breakfast Club. I'm still not used to it.
What time do you get up in the morning?
3:30, between 3:30 and 4.
Come on.
Yes, because you got to do makeup. Because not only radio is not what it used to be. You're not only heard anymore. Now you're seen and shit. And it's like, yo, I gotta look presentable. I'm not the makeup girly every day. I damn sure wasn't the edges girly every day. I just got edges. So I'm like, damn, now I gotta do them too. Like, girl, it's a lot. But I am very thankful for the opportunity.
Child, now she said she just got edges. I feel on that, child. I'm trying to get it. I need to know what serum she using. Okay, because I need my edges to come back. These braids be tearing your edges up. But I love this interview and this conversation because I think it gives more of an insight and for people to see, like, we're out here, we are who we are because of whatever. It doesn't matter. And a lot of the reason why we are where we're at and where we have gone and been able to get through doors that we got through is because of just being ourselves, just being who you are. You know what I'm saying? I've sat in many, many of rooms. Okay. Right now I am doing content on YouTube. Prior to me doing content on YouTube, I worked in ophthalmology and medical. So I worked in offices. I know how to be professional. I'm a professional. But me being on YouTube, what that allows a lot of people to do is either be themselves or be somebody that they desire to be that they never were. Like it can go all different types of ways. But what I've always said when I come to this platform is what you see is what you get. What you hear from me, that's me. I can sit up here and I can speak very eloquent. I can sit up here and I can give it to you straight like this, regular and raw. And I feel like people try to weaponize that against you, right? Or people try to doubt you and your capabilities because what? You from the hood? What did she say? She from the hood in Baltimore. What did I say? I'm from the hood in New Jersey. What do a lot of people say? They from hoods. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being from the hood? But look where Jess Hilarious is. She's on the Breakfast Club. Did you think, or would you think that someone like her could be on the Breakfast Club? Where there's people that think that she shouldn't, but there's a God that said that she should. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Stop judging people based off of who they are and what you think and what you see for them. You can't be sure what God has in store for people. And then even when you walk through these doors, you have to fight because there's people that's in these rooms that you walk into that think that you don't belong there because of what you look like, because of what you talk like. And it's not to say you're going up there ripping it off. We're talking about a Breakfast Club show. They go to that show. You listen how they been speaking on that show, especially Charlemagne and Envy, and how they speak. How would you think that a Just Hilarious wouldn't fit into that and keep it real and raw? Why do you think that the people are not gravitated towards that? Some people speak that way. Some people don't. Some people speak more proper. There's nothing wrong with either one. But it seems like in society, if you speak a certain type of way, you're looked down upon because you don't speak proper. Or you got a little bit of a ghetto, you know what I'm saying, energy when you talk. They don't think that you're educated. They don't think that you deserve to be in the areas you deserve to be. They don't think you're going to win lawsuits because they don't believe that you're intelligent enough to do the things that you do. So, Imani,
There's a saying that someone taught me a long time ago, but I can't remember what it is. But it's about prejudging people or thinking you know who people are, or when you see them, or how you are. Um, what's interesting about what she said about going into an environment where other personalities are already have strong identities. I can equate that to something that I happened to me. I was a manager. I worked for a really big corporate firm, and I was a manager. So I was a senior person. So I was the main character, and I had, a team of people under me. And then I decided a job came up, and it wasn't a manager's job. In fact, I wouldn't have been the number one. I wouldn't have been the deputy. I would have been probably the third most senior person in that department. So when I went for this job, and the guy that I interviewed with knew me because it was a sector where you knew who people were. So he knew where I worked and he knew I was head of a department. And he said to me, why would you take this job? And I said, because you're paying 50% more than I earn as a manager. And that's when I said to him, I said, someone told me a long time ago, I don't care what they call me, I care what they pay me. I said, and this is what I mean. So I went to this job and I was not um, gonna be the head of that area. And I can understand how she felt because initially it was quite difficult for me because I was the main person. I was the person who was running stuff. And then I had to go into an environment and be kind of the number three. But it worked out really well because it's one of the best jobs I ever had. So I understand how she felt about going in where there are already established people. Because I came in as someone who was the head of a department, and everybody was suspicious of me when I came in because they thought I wanted to take over. And I really didn't want to have a management job anymore. I just wanted to do the job and just get paid. And that's what happened. I got paid, you know, initially 50% more than I was earning as a manager of another team. So yeah, I do get that. And you know, and I that is what I brought to that department. I was myself. I was sometimes very coarse. They knew sometimes that if people upset me, that I could get very, how could I put it, ghetto. Well, I wasn't really ghetto. I just used to tell people, don't F with me because I'm not the one. You know,
Right,
don't talk to me
right.
like that. But I
Yeah.
would
Don't
say it
talk like
quietly
that.
out of the side of my mouth so that people couldn't hear me. But I had to adjust to the fact that some people would do things like touch my hair and certain things that really grinded my gears, or they would speak to me in a certain way. And they used to say, "What's that thing you do when you talk out the side of your mouth?" I said, "It's because I don't want anybody to hear exactly what I'm telling them, that I'm going to kick their ass if they don't stop talking to me like that." But yeah, so I get what she's saying about trying to fit
But see,
into the environment where you're not the
that's
main character and you're
right.
already established yourself.
That's the whole point, Imani. That's what we're trying to say. Like this, these are the things that we experience as Black people. Sometimes we have to be in workplaces and walk around, and when people say things to us or they address us a certain way, or they think that they can get away with the things that they say and they do, we have to talk out the side of our mouth and say things out of anger because we can't fully come out and say it because now we're going to be looked at as ghetto, or we're going to be looked at as you know all of the tropes, all of the things that they say. So when we walk into these places, we understand that we have to put on another mask. And it is tiring. It's tiring to have to walk around and know that you are equipped for the job. You have all of the credentials for the job. But what they don't like about you is how you look and how you speak, right? So you have to deal with that a lot of times. And I've dealt with that on many a workplace. And I told Imani earlier how I dealt with it, and that was hilarious. And y'all, maybe I will share that with y'all one day. But I chuck up the deuces quick. Okay, I'm not gonna be in no workplace where nobody is talking down to me or looking down on me because I'm Black, because I speak the way I do, and I even speak in a professional tone within the workplace. So now I'm asking, okay, if it's not about really how I speak, because I know how I speak when I'm with my friends. I'm at work, I don't speak like that.
But
But there's still an issue. Now it has to be an issue with how I look.
but the other thing is, you know what I find hilarious about also someone who does not understand the culture, who talks about how you speak. Golden has got, I mean, you got a little bit of your North Carolina accent, but she's got a Jersey drawl. She drawls when she speaks, and that has been misinterpreted as you being always inebriated because people do not understand the Jersey accent.
That's what I'm saying. People don't know the cultures. So it's like, yo, I speak like this, and I've started speaking a little bit more with my Jersey accent, right? Because one of the things that I have learned over my life is when you have an accent, sometimes it changes and it shifts based off of where you live and where you reside and what mood you're in, right? And so I know that a lot of the time I do speak regularly with sounds like a little bit more of a North Carolina accent when I'm calm, cool, collective, and stuff like that. But when I get mad, my Jersey accent comes out. And a lot of the time here lately, I've been having to fight for my life. I've been having to fight people. And when I get upset and I get mad, you hear more of the Jersey. And so now, because they hear the Jersey, now that's a drunk. You don't know nothing about being from Jersey. You don't know what a Jersey accent sound like. You don't know what a New York accent sound like. You don't know what a Baltimore accent sound like. You don't know what a Chicago accent sound like. And we're going to hear a little bit more of that accent as we go on with more of the video from Jess Hilarious. She's from Baltimore. My best friend is from Baltimore. I spent many of summers there. I spent a lot of time in Baltimore. I wasn't talking like this before because I wasn't attacked like this before and angry like this before. But when I do get angry and I do get attacked and I feel like I have to come out with this level of energy, then my roots come out. And my roots are from New Jersey. And if my roots to you are offensive because I'm from New Jersey and the way I talk is offensive to you because I'm from New Jersey, which is here in the United States, I need to know why. Why is that offensive to you, the way that I speak? It's the same thing like going into these job shop and they don't like how you speak. They don't like your accent. Imani?
Um, yeah, no, I just appreciate the differences. I really do. I really do. I mean, I lived in New York, so I recognized your accent as a Jersey accent, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate the Southern accents as well. I think this is what it's about. It's about appreciating our differences. I've got a London accent because I was born in London, and a lot of people say sometimes I speak very Cockney. A lot of my cousins say I swallow my words, but that's how I speak. But then if I get mad, you're going to hear another version because you kind of switch back to your roots and how you would address people. But I hope, on a day to day basis, I don't have to do that. However, from time to time, I've got to pop out.
Girl, child, and I'm telling you, I be trying to tell y'all, okay? Y'all over here trying to make fun of how people talk, how people speak. I think that's real cute. Girl, I know that you
But we do accents.
I
My
know that you
family,
get mad, girl.
when we used to
All
roast
other
people, we used to
side,
do it in different accents. We used to do it in different accents. I could do a few accents. You'll probably hear them on Friday Fun Night.
ooh, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be real fun. We'll do impersonations on Friday.
Yeah.
A lot of
Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, we got it. We're gonna do that on Friday. Friday's gonna be
Yeah.
fun, y'all. Y'all need to come to the live on Friday. We'll do impersonations. We'll do a few other things as well. It's gonna be fun. I'm telling you. We're gonna roast down to the ground. It's hilarious. But what is serious is that people should not be attacked for the way that they speak, right? We have people that we know are like from the north, people from the west, people from the east, people from the south. Why are you being attacked because of how you speak?
I
I've been
don't
attacked
mind that,
because of how
I don't mind it if it's in jest because I don't care if people are mocking my accent because it's you know for me that's a lot of that stuff's in jest. It doesn't actually bother me, to be honest with you. I mean, my other half is from the north and he pronounces his G's and he says things like hanging and he says bath instead of bath. I say to him, you speak like a foreigner. I mean, he's from the UK and our accents are completely different, even though we are born in the same country. I think it's about appreciating um, different cultures and different accents. I love a US Southern accent as well.
that's what I'm saying. It's like love the differences that we have because our differences is what makes us unique. Don't hate them. But let's get back into some more of the video real quick because I know
Yeah,
we already went over time.
I know.
And it's also taught me um, to think through things. I was always just so quick, like, because improv, I'm a comedian, we quick on our feet. We clap back without even thinking sometimes, but that's what radio has taught me. Like, especially doing radio in New York. Like, it has taught me, like, you don't have to quickly respond to things. Like, think about it. And it's okay. That's why you got two other co-hosts to fill in the gaps for you. You know what I mean? And then we got Lauren, and I love that dynamic as well. But I'm still getting used to whatever this balance is, because I still am Jess Hilarious outside of Breakfast Club known for so many other things that I got to keep up as well.
You still got to do that too.
Yes.
So I just wonder for you, because I from the outside could see you come in and go, That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could see it. I could be like, that's tough. Number one, you're in it. You're jumping into something that was already existing.
Right.
Somebody else had already sat in that chair since its inception. You know, Angela Yee was there.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to her. I don't know. I just wonder, sometimes those moments in women's lives and women's careers could feel, scary, lonely, vulnerable.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
And that's what it was. After I came down from the high of actually getting the job.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, I got a job. It's about to be popping.
Yes. And I'm like, I'm going to do it every day before I get it. I'm like, every day. Oh my God. I'm hiring videographers and things like that. They're putting together like all these dope visuals because I'm really trying to pitch myself for this third seat. Yeah. And then I get it. And I'm like, shit, I got to do this every day. Now I got to do it. 4:00 every day. Then damn, okay, now I'm pregnant. Oh my God. And then this is, oh wow. So it felt it was challenging, but like there were times I did feel lonely, alone. I felt like, all right, I need to take a class to get right. There was no training. I got through right in the shit. Like, I guess how to fit in at the radio or to how to do this radio job. It's like, and then the biggest challenge for me off the rip, I could see it, even when I was guest co-hosting, was interviews. Because I don't be knowing what the hell to ask these people. You know what I mean?
That's the realest shit ever.
Then you got Charlamagne. Everybody got their own niche. You know what I mean? Like you got Charlamagne. He gonna get real deep and gay. Like he gonna give it like, I'm like, damn, you can't be therapeutic and gay, at the same time. You got to meet people a certain place. And you got Envy that always want to go from the beginning. I want to ask you, how did you get into this? So I can't go that route because that's him. He's the beginning man. Then you got Lauren.
Not the beginning man.
Yes. Then you got Lauren. She's gonna bring up something receipts from 1992 that these people 9 times out of 10 forgot and got scrubbed from the internet, but she gonna go in the back pocket and get it with her TMZ background having ass, and then I'm there like, how was your flight? Okay. What you doing after this? What you like to eat? Girl, I don't be knowing what the hell to ask. I've gotten better, I feel like, but I'm like, damn, is there a class that I got to take on this? Like,
what have you learned? What has been a good trick for you? I wish you would have called me. I'd have helped you right at the beginning. I would have helped you. You'd have been like, girl, I need to find out. I was like, all right, let's look at your options.
I'm still trying to figure it out. You know what I found to be my niche is, right, when things are, because you at the Breakfast Club, you're in a bit of a hot seat, especially if you've done something that went public, viral, and, any type of controversy or whatever, they're going to bring it up. Even if you submit a list and say, don't bring it up, that make them bring it up even quicker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have learned to be the comedic relief in the room. Like, okay, now I make people feel comfortable to be there when they think the total opposite. Because a lot of people that come there, they know me as Jess with the mess. So they looking at me to be messy. I'm like, no, that's that boy head nigga right there. Like he gonna do it. And then that's Lauren over there too, because she's real journalism, love it and respect it. But me being a comedian, I make the people laugh. I make them feel comfortable. I make them feel like, okay, all right, this ain't so bad. All right. And then they lean in more to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is good. This will be my niche.
You're saying just be who you are.
Just be who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is always the answer to everything.
Lord.
Every answer, every question in life, it's like, get to the truth of who you are and it will help you answer that question. Even in that little problem right there. Right.
So when I ask them, how was your flight? They feel good that the heat is now off of something that they did 20 years ago.
Yeah, but you rely on comedy. Like you look for the, I don't know, the common thing that's funny in the moment.
Absolutely.
And you tap into that, which is why you're good at what you do.
Yeah. And the fact that I'm a mom.
All right. So we paused it right there for a quick commentary break with what she was saying so far. And then she about to get into the part about being a mom now. And then, we're going to listen to that. But basically what she was saying, and I think a lot of people can attest to this, there's a lot of different personalities, right? When we're in the workplace. And, she talking about being on radio. So on radio, everybody's voice gets heard, right? So you got somebody on radio and she's breaking down like how these people are. Charlamagne over there, we know how Charlamagne do. We know how Envy do. They had the other girl that's over there. She's the researcher and she's looking back in history and time and all these things. She said, I'm just the comedian. I just come with me, like my personality. That's what I bring to the table. And one of the things that I want us to really pay attention to when it comes to this is that you have to think about it. She was sought out to be on the show, right? She put in her bid to be on the show, right? Or be one of the hosts or take that seat or whatever. And the people researched, I guess, her personality, all of the things. And for her to be able to get that spot, they had to like what it is that she came with the package. Like, it was about who she was, like her character, her personality. That's what got her in the door and got the opportunity and got the seat. It was who she was because she was doing all of that before she got the job. And then you hired her. So you knew what was coming with that. And I think that's the reason why you put her on there. But then she said, and that's a true thing too. You got to find your space, right? Especially when you're working with multiple co-hosts and things like that. You got to find your space. You got to find your angle. You got to see how your personality and what you bring to the table fits in and how it can be inserted and enter in. And one of the things that I know, like, as I've been doing a lot of lives, y'all see it be me and Imani, and we do the lives together. We are very different people. We have very different mindsets. We speak very differently. We come to the platform with different energies to provide, right? But there's never a time where we tell each other, you need to be more like this. You need to be more like that. We respect each other enough to know, like, what you bring is going to be the beauty of what comes when we do our content together. What I bring is going to be the beauty of what happens when we do our content together. I want you to be you, and she wants me to be me, and we come together and we do our content, right? We're not on the radio, we're on YouTube. It's just a YouTube channel. But when we co-host, we talk behind the scenes, we know each other well, and we know that we're different, but our differences are our uniqueness. And so she's, comfortable to be unique in who she is. I'm comfortable to be unique in who I am, and we come together and we make it mesh. What do you think about that, Imani? That's literally what I feel like I'm hearing here in this segment. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think it is true. The one thing that I've always said about me and most of the people that I've worked with and even had to employ, and I've got a funny story to tell you about interviews because I used to have to do a lot of presentations and a lot of interviews. And there was a time when my son was young, and we were hiring a junior assistant, and they were all doing all. It was we were like a panel doing the interview. So there were myself and two members of my team. We were interviewing this assistant, and they were going through all the normal questions about that you ask people about jobs and about their experience. So when it came to me, they'd covered all those questions. So I just asked this guy, "What do you do in your spare time?" And I was tired on that day when I was doing this interview. And he started to, whatever he said was so. We did employ him, by the way, I've got to tell you, because he said he thought after that interview that he hadn't got the job. I literally fell asleep, dozed off while he was speaking because I was he was telling me about his hobbies, and I'm not going to tell you what his hobbies were, but I nodded off while he was speaking, and one of my team members like elbowed me, and I sort of jumped up, and he said, he said, when you fell asleep when I was talking about my hobbies, I thought I'd not got the job. But I said to him, listen, that is me. I was tired. I apologized. And I did apologize to him. But he said, and he never thought I got the job. And I used to say to people that when you come in, you employ people like the team that I used to have were very different people, but they all brought something to that team that was different that made it work, and they were all quirky in their own ways, and that's why that team worked, because you can only bring yourself into a job. And that's what she was talking about. She brought herself. She will ask the weird questions. I would be the person who'd ask the weird interview questions, the ones they never
Right,
expected.
right,
Because everybody used to go through the run of the mill stuff. And I
right,
wouldn't do that, whole psychometric testing that people do. I would just say to them, do you, what's your favorite drink? Because some of them also didn't like to let people know that they had a social life. And I was like, we're all normal. You don't have to bring it all to work, but you do stuff outside. So that's what
right.
I think she was talking about, just being herself and being the team, you know bringing what she brought to the team. So you don't have to be someone else to succeed. You just need to, especially in a new environment, and it's really difficult as well, even when you're changing jobs, because it's like going to new schools. You've got to try and fit in, but also try and be yourself and not suppress yourself. And I think that's a lot of what she was talking about. She
Right.
tries not to duplicate what her co-hosts do. She's just herself.
And how does that fit in? Yo, that's a good point that you brought up, and I'll tell a story as well, and then we'll get back into a little bit more of the conversation. So, a
Mm,
lot of the reasons why I say the things that I say, and even when it comes to like, we'll get to that. That's a different day. It's not today, but the racial stuff, right? I told a story about in my life we moved around a lot. I went to a lot of different schools, so that means that, like you said, when you go to different schools you have to find a way to fit in, but you also have to find a way to be yourself. And what you sometimes feel, especially when you're a child, because you're in peer pressure mode and stuff like that, you find yourself trying to be somebody else or something else that you're not so you can fit in. What people don't understand, some people are like that and some people are not. When I was in school, I did not change myself or do things or whatnot to fit in with groups and sectors, right? Especially, they got the popular kids in school and stuff like that. That's never been my personality. I've never been like that. I will sit at a table by myself. It doesn't bother me. I'm an only child. I'm used to sitting by myself, right? What I used to learn from my journey with, that in school and stuff like that, people gravitated towards me. Like I'm sitting here by myself, not even really talking to nobody, not really even approaching nobody or reaching out to nobody. I'm just sitting here. I'm just doing my own thing. And if people feel like your energy is good, they'll gravitate towards you, right? And then of course you can have conversation when they come and they be like, oh yeah, yeah, you're really a cool person. And then they stick around you. I used to be friends with like almost everybody in school on all of the different levels that they would call it. You got the jocks, you got the cheerleaders, you got the popular kids and stuff like that. They all used to talk to me. Everybody used to talk to me because it's like I don't judge nobody. I really, really don't. I'm really just a person that's just like, what up? How you doing? Who you? What's up? Well, what's the say? And then we talk and I get to know you and then we may have a few conversations and I am a sympathetic person and a loving and kind person. So it's easy for me to make friends, right? But it's not a me problem, right? When it comes to, especially when you was in school and stuff like that. I can connect and I can kick it with just about anybody. It's on the other side. Do the other people want to kick it with you? Do they understand you? Or do you bother them? I remember I was listening to a video, and I think it was on Roland Martin's channel, and he was doing an interview with Dr. Umar, something like that. I have to find it and bring it back up. But it's just like sometimes it's you don't have the issue. The issue doesn't lie with you. It's with other people. And they have to look at themselves and question themselves, why don't I like this person? Now, if it's totally a real reason as to why not, then hey, have at it. But a lot of the time, it's usually not. It's usually because they don't understand you and they don't understand how you can be like that. And their envy is that they wish they were like that, but they're not and they want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, And that's not being callous or coy or anything like that. I'm telling you what I really know to be true. A lot of people hate you because they want to be like you. Like they don't understand your personality. They don't understand your energy, your swagger, nothing like that. They wish that they had it and they don't. And then they hate you because of that. Imani?
Yeah, I haven't. To be honest with you, I haven't. And having worked, in you know quite large companies, I've not met many people that I don't get along with. And if I don't get along with people, I just keep it moving. I really do, because my job, most of my job was done on the phone. So you have to strike up a balance with people on the phone. Like about 60% of my job used to be on the phone. So I know how to, or I got to learn how to just find common ground, even if I was doing business. So I would speak to people and be able to find out what they do. And, I don't find there are many people that I don't get along with. But when I do find people that are not my cup of tea, I just move along. I just leave it behind. And I'm not that bothered because, not everybody's for everybody. I'm just thinking, they're not my type of person. I'm not their type of person. Let's just keep it moving. And it doesn't bother me. I don't take it to heart. I don't. The problem I find are people who always want an explanation of, the people that I know I don't get along with are people who always start a conversation with, "Do you have a problem with me?" And I always used to say to people at work, anybody who starts a conversation like that is going to be a problem, because why are they looking for a problem when you don't have one?
Exactly. Imani,
Yeah.
exactly.
Those are
Anybody who
red
says
flags to me. Those sort of people are red flags to me. And I just move along. I just move along. I will just say hi, bye, whatever. But I will say that when I first started in the corporate world, I was very rough around the edges, and I literally would fight or argue or tell people about themselves. And I had to like temper that down, because my managers used to say to me, "You can go far, but your mouth when you're angry is your worst. It's your worst enemy." And I had to try and um not necessarily calm down, but temper some of my instincts. Like I used to have to do woosahs when people used to poke me or touch me or stuff like that. Because I just used to say, where I come from, if you poke someone with your finger, you're gonna lose it. So it's kind of like, I don't get this. So I had to really, but But, like I said, I don't find many people I don't get along with, because I really like speaking to different people from different places. I'm really interested in, getting to know people. And like I said, if I don't get on with people, I keep it moving. I'm not stopping. I'm not explaining to you if we've got a problem when we don't even know each other. Do you know what I mean? That's me, and
yeah,
I'm not that bothered. I come from a big family, so I'm used to people who can get rubbed up the wrong way, and you just go, all right, today's not that day. I'm moving on, and I don't care. And I
that
find it
is happening.
quite easy to avoid people who want to have issues all the time. I just avoid it. But that's just me, you know. That's just me.
No,
But
I understand what you're saying. I've had those experiences too, especially in the workplace. Like, yeah, I was the walkout queen, the quit queen. That's what I call myself, the quit queen. I will quit. I'll quit and I'll walk out of this mofo as fast as you can say one, two, three. Because a lot of those things that you just spoke about, that's what I had to experience on the workplace, right? Like there's an issue with your appearance. There's the issue with the way you talk. There's an issue with how you approach certain situations. And I'm telling you, in these jobs I used to have, the patients, they used to love me. The doctors, they used to love me. Who didn't love me? That's another conversation for another day. But a lot of them was a certain race. Let's just say that. And they didn't like it. They didn't like the swag. They didn't like the personality. And then they would try to wreak havoc on me all the time. Then I had bosses that were equally, and this is the thing. These were women, not men. I ain't never had no problem with no men now. It's the women. And so, child, I'm getting written up. I'm like, okay, I'm out. I'm going, here's your badge, here's your book, here's your whatever. You can have it, and I quit. And I'm the quit queen. I'm telling you, I will quit because I'm just not gonna allow these people.
See, I worked in a mainly male environment, so I think I developed a tougher skin because I think with when you work, and that is why um, when I used to have be outside of work, because I was used to working with a lot of men, and they just men are not doing all this emotional stuff. They're not doing this. Why are you not talking to me? It's very cut and dried, especially when in the environment I was working in at the time. So when I used to, you kind of develop that kind of attitude. So when I used to be out in my social life, I would be exactly the same. I'm not tolerating BS. If you want to have an argument, I'm not your person. I'm not your person, especially if there's no reason for it. And so a lot of my friends used to tell me when I used to go out socially, you're too blunt sometimes. I said, it's because I work with a lot of guys who don't tolerate bullshit. They don't have me whining and moaning.
Oh my
They would
God,
just
that is
tell me,
so.
enough, enough, and they used to be quite crude about it and say, is it tampon time? And I was go, what?
I'm telling you for real. And I had a great conversation right yesterday, and we was like kicking it and chilling on the live yesterday with
Mm,
Carlos's split was there too.
yeah.
And it was like I have always kind of been like that in my life. I have better experiences kicking it and chilling with men. And I don't know like I'm sleeping with you, I'm attracted to you or anything like that. Just homies, you know what I'm saying? Or co-workers. I always have had better experiences when it comes to being around men. Women are weird. They're very catty. I don't like being around certain women. If it's women in my life, if y'all see there's women on my platform here that I kick it with and I'm getting along with, you know that that's probably the reason, right? Because they probably the same way. Because I'm telling you, dealing with women is crazy. If you deal with men, it's so much easier. It's so much easier. Women are nuts. I'm sorry to say it, but they are.
Well,
And
put it
I'm a
this way.
woman.
Put it this way. I remember, and there used to be a lot of guys around that would crack jokes. So, and I'm going to say this. So, trigger warning, trigger warning. It's not because I use this type of language. And I remember there was a guy. There were two guys, and they were just having some banter. And one guy said to the other, he said, "You are really," and this is not a word I use, but I'm using it in the context it was said. He said, "You're so fat." And the guy immediately said to him, "That's because your wife keeps feeding me."
And I would laugh.
Did you
I
get
would
that?
laugh. Yeah, I would laugh. I think that's
Hello?
hilarious. Can you hear me? Oh God, here they go. All right, the sound had went out. Since the sound went out, let's take a quick song break, y'all, and we'll be right back. All right, thank y'all for rocking with us. Give me just a second. Imani will be right back. Child StreamYard is a mess. We'll be right back, y'all. I'm gonna play y'all a song.
Everybody got a story. This one mine. Listen. Yeah. Everybody think they know me from the outside looking in. Judge me off a chapter, never read the book I'm in. Paint me with assumptions, now they swear they know my name. Never felt my losses, never walked through all my pain. I'm sunshine mixed with thunderstorms and midnight after rain. Still got love inside my heart after everything I gained and lost. I've been crossed, I've been counted out, abandoned more than once. Still I never let this cold world teach my soul to become numb. They mistake my grace for weakness, my forgiveness for a flaw. No, but revenge has never healed a single wound I ever saw. So I let God fight my battles while I focus on my peace. Cause the loudest people talking rarely ever find relief. Don't mistake my quiet for being blind. I see every switch, I just protect my mind. Real power ain't proven what everybody doubts. Sometimes strength is walking before the lights go out. I'm misunderstood. Can you hear my heart? You only know the pieces, not the work of art. I'm more than my mistake, more than what you see. If you wanna know my soul, take the time to know me. I'm misunderstood. Maybe you are too. Maybe we find healing if we told the truth. Yeah, yeah. I'm loving, I'm loyal, but don't mistake it for naive. Nah, I notice every energy, I notice what you breathe. Yeah. Every fake congratulations, every smile that's disguised. Every handshake with the motive hiding deep behind our eyes. But I don't match your chaos, I don't wrestle every fight. Peace became my superpower, sleep became my peace at night. I make mistakes like everybody, I ain't claiming to be perfect. Every lesson built a woman that no money could purchase. Multifaceted, diamonds never shine one way. Different seasons, different colors, still the same and hard each day. I laugh loud, I cry hard, I create, I rebuild. Every scar became a blueprint, every setback shaped my will. Don't put me in your boxes, I was born to break the mold. Keep control of free spirit when the story's made of gold. God gave me this free will and I intend to use it well. Only heaven writes my ending, I don't need your validation spell. I refuse to make myself smaller just to make somebody comfortable. If being different makes me misunderstood, then maybe being misunderstood is beautiful. I'm misunderstood, still I choose the love, still I choose forgiveness, still I look above. Before you judge a person, take a little time. Every heart is fine, a war you'll never find. I'm misunderstood, but I'm finally free. The greatest thing I ever did was become me. Before you tell somebody who they are, ask them who they've survived. You may discover the strongest people aren't the loudest, they're the ones who kept their heart alive. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody got a story. This one mine. Listen, everybody think they know me from the outside looking in. Nah, judge me off a chapter, never read the book I'm in. Paint me with assumptions, now they swear they know my name. Never felt my losses, never walked through all my pain. I'm sunshine mixed with thunderstorms and midnight after rain. Still got love inside my heart after everything I gained and lost. I've been crossed, I've been counted out, abandoned more than once. Still I never let this cold world loudest people talking, rarely ever found relief. Don't mistake my quiet for being blind. I see every switch, I just protect my mind. Real power ain't proven what everybody doubts. Sometimes strength is walking before the lights go out. I'm misunderstood. Can you hear my heart? You only know the pieces, not the work of art. I'm more than my mistake.
All right, y'all. Thanks for rocking with us for that little quick song break right there. We had to get the mics and stuff and the audio, adjusted and set back up, but we're back good. Imani girl, you back there? Everything is sounding right now?
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's pop this back up. We was having a pretty good conversation. We could have some more. We'll, be able to. But let's listen to a little bit more of the interview, so we can get through it, and not keep the people for too long. So let me go ahead, y'all, and play a little bit more of this, and then we'll move right along.
Too, because we have no moms on the show. Lauren, she wants to be a mom, one day, but she's not. Envy, Charlamagne, they have wives who are moms or whatever, but they're not a mom. They can't directly speak to what that's
so
like.
You're the mom of the bunch.
Exactly. So I'm like, all right, no, this is my niche too. The funny mom who's going to love on you. All right, cool. Make fun of you every now and then, but I'm going to love on you too.
Hey guys, today's show is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. Views. You have a public controversy that happens that we'll get into a little bit later.
Ooh, yes.
All that stuff is going on, and then you're pregnant with postpartum and showing up for work. Well, when you get back to work.
Yeah. That's hard. It was hard. I was breastfeeding. It was like the walls were closing in on me, and you don't know that you're facing or dealing with postpartum until you come out of it. Like, or at least that's how it was for me. I've heard other women describe it to be the same for them, but I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't have postpartum depression with my son. And I went through like one of what I would call the worst pregnancies of my life, pregnant with my son. Cause I know we'll get into that later, but like I planned, me and my husband planned our daughter, and postpartum hit me. I think it was like so much I was trying to focus on. I thought, like, I went through a period where I didn't think I was funny. I stopped writing comedy. I was doubting myself in every area, and there was nothing that my husband can do for me to make me feel better. And I still was like, postpartum depression. No, that's not me, because I didn't know how to identify it.
Yeah.
And then I'm
so surprised.
I didn't. I don't even know. Like,
you just didn't expect it.
I didn't expect it, because I'm like, everything is going good in my life. I'm successful here. I'm successful there. I got businesses that I'm running.
Overall
my team
happy.
is coming together. Like, yeah.
Your husband, your new baby.
Right.
Yeah.
How could I be going through postpartum depression? Nah, like, it doesn't matter what era you are in your life. It's going to hit you when it's going to hit you. It doesn't matter who you are. It's going to hit you. And I didn't realize it until I came out of it.
What does that feel like for somebody who hasn't experienced it for you? Like, what is the low point? What is the moment where you're like, fuck?
You feel guilty all the time. Like you can't do anything right for your child. I felt like because I was breastfeeding, I felt like out of nowhere, I wasn't making enough milk for her. So I felt like a failure as a mom. I felt like I wasn't a good wife. I felt like I started having parental guilt with my son. Like, oh my God, is he looking at me as a selfish parent because I wasn't able to give him the things that I can give his sister at her age when he was that young.
Got it.
I'm thinking even, girl, and I would never in my life, but I was thinking even like, damn, is my son looking at me like, damn, why couldn't she stay with my father? Why couldn't she have stayed with my dad?
Oh, you putting yourself through it.
Girl, and I know, girl, if I could go back and look at myself going through that moment, like, girl, please. There's no way that she would ever even go back with Rome, ever. Like, he got a baby daddy named Jerome. Like, no, why would you even do that? But like I said, I thought Breakfast Club was trying to replace me. With Lauren for sure,
Yeah.
and that was the big elephant in the room. And then I'm going through the comments and I'm not liking what I see. And it's people who love me. Then it was people who was like, who wanted her to be on the show over me. It was people who wanted me back. Then it was people that was like, well, like none of them. Bring Angela back. I was like, shit. You know what I mean? It was so
Those
much.
comments will kill you.
Girl,
especially, they already kill you in real life just on a regular day, let alone in the middle of postpartum. Those comments are going. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine.
Girl, no.
I can't.
And then in my mind, I also was like thinking about, what if this don't work? Then you're a 2-time baby mama. Then you got to write another book.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm telling my husband these things. He's like, what the hell is wrong with you? What are you talking about? Like, no, I'm here. What's wrong?
When did you know? Did somebody identify like, hey, this might be postpartum?
No. No, I didn't want to go to the doctor because I didn't want to see a therapist. I didn't want the confirmation. Like, I was scared for that to be the confirmation. I'm like, nah, these just mood swings. Like, nah. I didn't want to. I was afraid of the clarity that I would get, the diagnosis. I'm like, nah. But I'm just coming out of it, to be honest with you. It's been like a month now. Yeah, my daughter's about to be 2, August 20th. She's about to be 2. And I'm like, damn, I was in that shit for over a year.
So you're just kind of just assessing it now, like, right? Is that or the book? The book probably helped you pull that up a little bit, no?
No.
So this is very recent that you're just in this new space.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I'm glad that you brought up that you could even see it visibly. Like, not that you were saying you saw the postpartum depression, but you saw, like, you kind of see, because you come from this world, she's struggling a little bit. Like, she's trying to find her place. And it's like, and I know if you see it, my fans see it. People were writing me, like my parents seen it. My mom, my pastor, everybody is like, yo, you good? You all right? You're not really yourself sitting up there. And this was once I came back, I felt like I never got my mojo back. Like, never got it. After I came back. Yeah, I'm just starting to step into it.
That's funny because I didn't see it like that so much. I didn't think, I didn't know you that well before. Yeah. So I didn't know the difference, but I could just imagine and I could see just from some of the limited conversations and everything that happened, I felt like I could see that. And also, I know that feeling. I've been in a new slot or in a new thing. Maybe not, I've been in radio a long time, so maybe not the exact experience, but enough of an experience to be plopped into a new situation where you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
And everybody got an opinion. And then when you're in your own head, it's tough.
Them opinions, they don't help. They do not help you. They will break you down and make you feel crazy.
Oh my God, I just realized this too. Then you got on top of the layers. It's funny because we just did an interview with Young and May the other day.
Oh, okay.
Super random. This clip goes viral. It's like 4 million views or something. And of me and her talking about, she's telling me she does karaoke and she sings Whitney Houston. And I'm joking. I'm like,
really?
Really? So what, are people laughing or they're crying? Like whatever the clip goes, right? But sometimes when the net is wider, like my normal audience, the comments, I know they know me, I know them.
Yeah.
We have a rapport. Like your normal Jess Hilarious audience, in the clips, you know them, they know you. Now all of a sudden, a new group of people have entered the chat. People that don't really know you. Same thing when you go to the Breakfast Club. Now you got a whole new audience. People that don't really know you for all this time that got an opinion about everything you do.
Yeah.
The reason I compare it is because I was looking at the Young and May clip and people were like, this lady doesn't respect her because she's, somebody said because Young and May, what's the term?
A stud.
It wasn't a stud, but it was something. She presents masculine. So this lady thinks she can't sing. And I'm like, well, clearly this is somebody who doesn't know me at all. But it was a lot of people that didn't know me with weird comments. And whenever you cast a wider net or you step into a world that's bigger than your comfortable world, it also comes with people who don't know you very well, people who got shit to say without any kind of, you know what I'm saying? I use that as a thing because I think that probably happens to a lot of people. Like whenever you jump into a bigger pool, It's a price that comes. This the thing that comes with that.
Yeah,
you know,
and
what
you
I'm
gotta
saying?
like almost appeal to them. But I think I was getting lost in that. That's what I think I was doing. I was getting lost in that because you're right. They change up algorithms, and like now, your video is popping up for people who don't know you,
right?
And their opinions now
are stupid.
Yes, are stupid, right? And it's a lot of them mixed in. It's hard for you to find yours, and you're like, "Damn, did I do something? What the hell happened?" But
where's my people? Get rid of these people.
Exactly, you know. But you can't spam everybody. That's why I'm doing a better job with staying out the comments. Because girl, I used to be called the clapback queen. I used to be in there like, what? I bet your mother. You know what I mean? But I'm evolving. I'm 34. I ain't got time to be reading comments and responding back to people.
Girl, you got to be up at 3 a.m.
Girl, what?
And you got 2 kids.
And doing research. And doing research on people that comes up.
And a husband.
A husband. Yes. who wants his wife to
be his wife?
Uphold her wifely duties.
What are those? What are your wifely duties?
Gosh, Angie.
First of all, I'm gonna need you to say it like a little more like you're happy about it.
No, I'm actually.
All right, so we just gonna take a quick little commentary break here, y'all. Yo, this portion of the segment for real is so real. It's so real. Number one, she started talking about having postpartum depression and not even knowing she had it after she had her second child. Well, her first child, she didn't have it. The second child, she did. And it changed everything. Like, it changed how you think. It changed how you operate. You know, you have confidence 1 minute, the next minute, now you have no confidence. It's gone. It's out the door. And a lot of women understand that experience, right? Because there's a lot of women that suffer from postpartum depression and whatnot after they have a kid. Women be going through a lot, y'all. I'm telling you, women be going through a lot. And this is something I can attest to as well. I also equally suffer with that. So I'll just, put a little bit of that, give you a little tidbit or whatever. And there's also, if you do your research, you'll see that postpartum depression, there's no real timeline as far as how long it lasts, right? Some women who have kids, postpartum depression can last, short, and then it's fixed, and then it's over. The hormones and things like that get back together, all the structures get back together. Some women deal with postpartum depression for, a long period of time after they have a kid. And it changes everything. It really does. Like your mind, like you just shift, you change. Because what equally has to happen is you have to become a mother. And your body, your hormones, your mind, all of that naturally is what God created for you to be able to have when you bring another life into this world. And so as those things shift, other things shift along with it. So a lot of women do suffer from postpartum depression because it is a shift that is happening that you don't understand. You're not understanding why your mindset is changing. You're not understanding or loving or liking the changes of your body, right? There is a lot of things that you have to now, wrap your mind around that's not the same. And, the external part, that's a big part for a lot of women, but there's also the, psychological and neurological part that comes with that as well. And it's difficult to navigate through that. It's very, very difficult. And then she also went into talking about, literally up here at the end, when, and this is weird because like, I get, like, it's weird for me because I just don't see YouTube and social media in the same level that like celebrities are in, or being a celebrity or somebody that's like in the public eye. But I guess because it's a public platform, then it is the same, right? And I never got up on the platform to be a celebrity. Like, that's not why I started my channel. And I don't think that I'm a celebrity. That's the thing. Like, I don't think that. But when she was talking about like, this is what comes with the program, it's like, when you are known to people and people start knowing your name, or they start knowing, where you're at, where you reside, your content, what you do, all of those type of things, like, There's people that have their ideas about you that don't know you. They don't know you at all. And but they'll say things in the comments that they'll have a perception about you and your character that they don't know nothing about. And I know a lot of people may feel that way on the other side as well. That, like I said, when we talk about that stuff, I mean, come on. When it comes to that, that's clear. Your actions and your behavior show that. So I get it. I guess you feel that way, and that can be okay too. Maybe conversations could be had, but I did not know necessarily that that's what you sign up for when you start the YouTube channel. I did not know that. But she's saying, and what Angie Martinez said, these people are people that do not know you from a can of paint. And they'll say things in your comments. They'll have a perception about you and your character and who you are as a person. And you just like fuming and getting mad because you're like, you have no idea. Like, you don't know me. How dare you say that about me and my character? You know nothing about me. I don't know who you are. Who are you? You know what I mean? So I see that now. I see that it's kind of similar, I guess, being on this YouTube platform. That is happening to people with YouTube channels and fairly across the board. There's probably people on the other side that are saying the same thing. Like, you don't know me, you misunderstood me, you're not getting it. I have different ways that I feel like I can seek that out, but maybe that's not fair for me to do. I can't be sure. What do you think about this, Imani?
Well, she talked about, like you said, a really important thing, and I've put a helpline um, in the chat for people who may have postpartum depression or any, maternal queries. And yeah, people can look successful on the outside, but they're privately fighting some battles that nobody sees. And yeah, I mean, I had, I didn't have postpartum depression at all. But I do remember I did find, you know, number one, I did find breastfeeding hard and a task, and I could not wait to get my son on the bottle. That time at night when you're exhausted and your partner just shoves you and says, "Go on, baby's crying," because you're the only person that can feed that baby. It can be quite, draining. But I didn't, like I said, I didn't have postpartum depression. I did suffer when I had to go back to work, and I felt like I was kind of abandoning Anthony. Even though he was, he was fine, but he played on it. I would drop him at his grandmother's and he would be screaming and crying, and I would go to work and feel really, really depressed about leaving him, and then come back and see him chasing the dog with a hairbrush. He was fine, but it was me that felt.
Not with a
Yeah, he'd be
hairbrush.
chasing the dog around the room. I know. Yeah, it was ridiculous. He would be singing, dancing, but I'd left him and he would be screaming as I
You,
left. And I would
yeah.
and I would get to work and I'd be phoning and say, "Is he all right?" And his grandmother would say she's fine. That was his late his father's late mother. And then I'd come back and it was as if, wasn't even bothered. But I
You
do
never
do
let
I
him. It was
couldn't
like you
I
never
couldn't
left.
wait to share the feeding. I couldn't wait. But I do remember, even, when he used to wake up at night and he'd been fed, he'd been changed, and I would look at him and say, "What is wrong? Why?" You know, it can be overwhelming. It really can be overwhelming, especially if you're, yeah, for me, especially as a first time mother. And I thought that was enough for me.
Right, right.
But
And then
yeah, and
imagine dealing with all that and then still having to wake up and go to work at 3 and 4 in the morning. Like, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying,
yeah, dealing with the night feed. and then go into, get up and go to work and be normal, and then you're worried because you feel bad because you're not with your child. These are all the things that a lot of women go through and suffer through. And I never suffered from postpartum depression, so I can't even imagine how people feel. And she said that one of the things she said, she didn't recognize it was happening because she thought everything in her life was going well. And then on top of that, to have the questions about, and I felt this as well, that when I was off on maternity leave, because I was off for a year, uh, wondering whether my job was secure. There were all those things, and the fact that you really have to, things like when your child is ill, and then you have to take time off, and you have to cancel work at short notice if you can't, if you don't have the resources with you. But when they're small, you really want to be with them because you feel guilty that you're going to work in the first. Well, I felt guilty that I was going to work in the first place, and so if he was ill, it was like double. And then I would, have to call work and then say I've got to take a day off. And I had people that could take care of him, but I just felt like I was torn between these two things. And it's not as though I didn't have the help. It was all me, how I felt about what I was doing because I felt guilty about going back to work. But eventually, even though he still tells me to this day all the times I never turned up for the school play or things like that. But hey, we've got over it. But
Right,
you do
exactly.
feel a lot of guilt about not
Yeah,
being there sometimes.
yeah, you do. You absolutely do because, like, I remember after I had JJ or whatnot, they told me that I had, mm, what was it? Uh, it was like preeclampsia, but I had preeclampsia after I had my son. A lot of people have preeclampsia when, like, they're pregnant. But after I had him, I went home and it was like, child, I wouldn't even know, but it was weird because my foot had swell up real bad and stuff like that. And I wasn't even thinking about that because I'm thinking about feeding the baby, make sure this is like days after I had him. And so after that had happened, my mom had talked to my aunt and stuff like that, the elders, and they was like, something sounds like it's wrong. She might need to go to the hospital. And then they was like, check her blood pressure. They checked my blood pressure. My blood pressure was through the roof. So I had to call, the ambulance or whatever and go to the hospital. And it was so bad they flew me out in a helicopter. That's how severe and serious it was. And the whole time I was there, I was like, I am crying because I'm like, I need to get out of here. I need to get back to my baby because he's home. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's only like 3 days old. I need to get out of here. Like, I don't want to be in this hospital. Whatever's going on with me, I'll be okay. But I need to get back to my baby. And so things like that go on. And then, like you said, it's easier when you have help, and you have, like, support when you're going through those things because you don't know. It's your first time going through it. It's your first experience going through it. And imagine having to have a career. And she got her job, what Jess Hilarious is saying is when she got her biggest opportunity and her biggest job in her life, she was pregnant at the time. And then, it moves forward. So now the baby is coming but this is like a big opportunity for her, and then she's going through all of these changes and stuff that are not similar to what she had previously when she had her first child. They're different now because she didn't go through that with her son. She's going through different things, and she's trying to juggle like this huge career. And there's people that, this is the thing as well too, it's people that wanted that seed. It's people that didn't want that for her. It's people that don't want that for you, right? So you got those people, and there's a lot of them. There's more of them than there's not of them that don't want to see it for you. And so they coming at her and she getting into arguments with people. Meanwhile, her hormones and stuff is all over the place. She got a newborn baby. She's trying to, take care of. Gotta be at work because she got this opportunity. So it's like now I'm feeling guilty, like you said, Imani, because I gotta leave my baby and I gotta show up to work. I'm coming here early. You talking about 3, 4 a.m. That's when the babies be up. So it's just like, yo, you might even have to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, run off to work, but the baby crying, the baby hungry and needs you. And it's like, then, oh, child, women could tell a story. I'm telling you, women could really tell a story about what that experience is like. And for some women it's easier, for some women it's harder. But it's a thing, it's a serious thing, and a lot of women go through it. And to try to do that and have a career at the same time and then have people judging you and dragging you and talking to you, this is why I say in life we never know what people got going on, what they are going through. And sometimes, like, some things can just push you over the edge. Like, if you're already going through all of that, people don't even know. And then they up here, talking about you, your character, your personality, your parent. Like, people are out here trying to get through the day. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time. And we have the internet, the social places. And in these places, you got strangers that are telling you what you are and what you're not. They are talking about your children. They are talking about you and your parenting skills. Like, that's crazy. And I know sometimes it's like, in this, if we talk about this sector, right? Like the whatever this sector is, Black tea sector, Jaguar, right? Whatever the fuck they call this shit that we in here, I'll call it Oz. And I say I need me some ruby slippers because I'm trying to get up out of here. I want to go home. Auntie M, Auntie M, Auntie M. I need to get back to Auntie M. But all sectors are not like this, just to be very clear. Like, there's a lot of great sectors out there and people don't operate like this in those sectors. But in this sector, it's like these people don't care about none of that. They don't. And then when you're in here for too long, you find yourself having to defend yourself and respond, and you almost become like them. And I think that is what I've been paying attention to lately, is that for having to fight for my life, which is what it seems like we have to do a lot of the time, and defend myself and my people and my family, I found it now that it's like I'm literally turning into being the same type of people that these people are. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want to be like that. I'm tired of that, right? But they push you to those limits because this is what they do. And you can come in with the most positivity, you can come in with the most love and light, and then they start messing with you. They start messing with your friends. They start messing with your family. They start messing with your finances. And then, especially if, like we seeing Jess Hilarious, she from Baltimore. I'm from Jersey. People are from areas, and even if you're from the UK, certain areas in the UK, we don't get down like that. You coming for me and mine, I'm gonna come for you, and then you get mad because I hit you harder than you hit me. It's giving that type of energy. Like, now you always ending up in a brawl and a fight. But this is what I'm saying. We are not taking into account. People are going through things in life, and people don't want it for you. They really don't want it for you. They don't see it for you. They don't want it for you. And then, things transpire. Imani, go ahead before we play some more.
Yeah, I mean, I think opinions are like ourselves. Everybody's got one. I just sometimes just ignore some of the crap. There are things I will respond to and I feel I need to respond to. But I do think people really do think they can have a say in absolutely every part of your life that has nothing to do with them. And I think sometimes, and people fight differently. Me, sometimes I ignore crap. Sometimes I feel I address some of the crap, but I'm not going to spend my time fighting with strangers. Strangers, stranger danger. We got to remember. No, I mean, fighting with people on on social media for
Okay,
what?
I had to do it. I
For
had to do it.
what? For what?
Strangers.
So, that's why I just say, some things I think, I don't care, but some things I will respond to. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, especially when your children are young, and then when they go to school, and you'll go through this, then they start picking up things because other children may have other colds and flu and all sorts, and then you've got to you've got to strike a balance between your work and your home life. And I know there's a lot of guilt attached with a lot of people, and then on top of that, she then gets the queries about whether she's coming back to work or not, and she's trying to battle through postpartum depression. That must have been huge for her. Must have been huge for her. I mean, I sympathise with anybody who's been through it, and I know a few people that have had it. And the one thread that runs through the people that have postpartum depression is a lot of people do not realise it's even happening. It really isn't. I mean, it's now more recognized, but a lot of people I know that had it, we used to think, what's wrong with that person? But because we didn't know enough about it, we didn't know enough about it because some people sailed through it. Some people sailed through their pregnancies. I remember, when I had my son, there was a girl. We were there because there were two of us on the ward. They had rooms with two of us in, and she was the most annoying woman because she would wake up no matter whatever time her baby cried. She would wake up, she would be singing, she'd be crunching an apple and breastfeeding. And I used to look at her because I was so miserable because obviously when they're younger, they wake up more often. And we swapped numbers after we left the hospital because we both had a cesarean, so I had to stay in for much longer, and I was anemic. And I got home because I was just like, kind of took it in my stride. I was like, this is not what I'm used to. How am I going to deal with this? Waking up every 2 hours. But got used to it, came home. She called me about 2 weeks later and she was in pieces because I was watching her thinking how she was like Mother, Mother Earth. Why is this woman singing in the middle of the night while she's breastfeeding? I just
Right.
want to sleep. And and I kind of, and then she called me and she couldn't cope. She couldn't cope. And I remember telling her, you got to call your health visitor because it was like she was on her, because in the hospital, there were a lot of nurses around us to help us. But she got home and she was on her own and she was in pieces. And I remember, she called me and I'm thinking, this is the woman that was singing. So you just don't know. You just don't know how you're going to be. But I would advise people there is a helpline there. Please seek help if you're not coping because it can be really difficult. Can be really difficult. I was really fortunate because my mother, she'd had quite a few kids, so she helped me a lot, and a lot of the stuff that they told me, she said, no, you don't need to do that, do this, do that. And my son slept through the night after 6 weeks. I was like, result. So
Winning. We're
yeah,
winning.
I was like, whoa, yeah. So, but that was because I took my mother's advice. I really did.
Yeah.
I thought she
The
knows
old
better than
school.
me, and she did it without
No.
painkillers.
Right.
She did
Okay.
it
For real.
without painkillers. I had
The
everything they
old
could give
school.
me.
Yeah. I'm telling you for real, the old school ways, a lot of time they work more than what the new wave is and what they be trying to tell you and what you need to do and stuff like that. Old school, think about it. Our ancestors didn't have none of the medical advice, the doctors, the medicine, and the diagnosis and stuff like that that we are, have a luxury to have. They didn't have any of that,
Yeah.
but we're alive, aren't we? So they figured out how to get through it and do it. I'm telling you, the
Yeah.
ancestors, and if you got the elders, the wise women that have
Yeah.
already been through it and done it, you can get information from them. They will help see you through it. And I think that that's what helped me a lot is because, and I know some people may not have that. It's not a boast or a brag or to make anybody feel a certain type of way, but I think what helped me a lot is because, I had a lot of help and support from my mom. And my mom learned a lot of things from my grandma. And my grandma was very old school. And she taught my mom those things. That's what helped her get through whatever she was going through. And, whatever it may be. Whether you have, the postpartum depression, whether you have, the preeclampsia, whatever it is experience you're going through, right? It's the elders. We have to pay more attention and have more respect for what the elders are saying and what they can provide. And I would hope that a lot more of the elders try and do that. You know what I mean? Like, because there's a lot of people out here that don't have mothers. There's a lot of people out here that don't know they kin in their family. And they're looking for a mother figure. They're looking for an auntie. They're looking for, more mature person that can give them some advice about whatever it is, not just talking about motherhood, but things that they need a little bit more wisdom about because they don't have it and they didn't have it. And I just feel like, that could be what, we can provide. And when I say elders, I'm not saying that it means that you're old. I'm saying like you're wise. You know some things because you've been through some things. And we have a lot of like younger people out here on this platform that's like they trying to figure stuff out and they need some advice. They need some wisdom. You know what I mean? And like I get wisdom from my mother, of course, number one, but I even get wisdom from Imani because there's things that Imani knows that I don't know. There's things that she experienced that I haven't experienced. And so it's just like there's nothing wrong with seeking wisdom and there's nothing wrong with giving it. But I think those are things that we could do, that could be better on this platform and spread around on this platform because a lot of people are in seek of it. But Imani,
But
I'll
you
let
know
you say a
what?
few
Do you
things.
know what, Golden, though? There are some people doing some other stuff on some of the other platforms like Instagram because there are some young mums that do some good stuff and share their experiences. I think you got to just go out and look for it because there really are some positive young people doing some great stuff out there and telling funny stories about motherhood because there are. That's one thing that I used to find was telling people stories about some of the stuff that happens with your kids when you think that they don't hear you or they don't, and they start saying the same things as you're saying, or and you think, oh my God. Yeah, like when they go through that stage when they keep saying expletives just for fun because they know it's wrong. They know it's
and then,
wrong. Oh
and then
my
they,
God.
child, they look at you and then they smile because they already know.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Smiling
my brother, because my brother's wife, this is a funny story. My brother's wife she looked after my son for a while when he was young, and they had a dog called Buck, Buck, and he was with my nieces all day. And I came back and he was pushing around this. He had this kind of thing with bricks in, and he pushing around this thing and he's going, fuck, fuck, fuck. So I'm saying to my sister in law, what the hell? She said he said it once and the girls were laughing. So now he thinks it's a thing because they
oh
keep
my
laughing. Because, yeah, so he's calling the dog fuck. And he's
God.
going, fuck, come here, fuck. I was dying. I was saying to
Oh my
her,
God.
I've
No,
got
you
to
see how
get
I'm
him to.
laughing right now? This is the problem, right? This is the problem. If you laugh at them one time, they're gonna think it's okay. So
Yeah.
they just keep on doing that. And so I'm learning that the hard way, child. I'm like, yo, what you just say? But sometimes when they say it, it be hilarious. And then you
Mm.
laughing and they be like, they smiling, they laughing
Yeah.
too. They think it's okay, and then they keep saying it. I'm like, no, don't say that. Do not say that.
I also had another one. There was a great one because my mother was very religious, and so I used to drop my son to her, like when she used to be looking after him. Say I was going out, and there was a day when I was in the car and I was going shopping, and I had a little attack of road rage because someone cut me up, and I wound down my window and I said, beep, 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 beep. And my son was in the back in the car seat, and he had a pacifier for a little time. And he took out his pacifier and said, oi, you beep, beep, beep. So I'm thinking, I've got to take him to mum's house because my friend started laughing. And so he kept doing this throughout the whole journey. He's in the back of the car. He keeps taking out his pacifier every so often. And every time he did it, I said to my friend, stop laughing, please. And he said, oi, you beep. I won't even tell you the word I said because it was a really bad one beginning with C. Anyway, long story short, I go to my mother's house. She's having a prayer meeting. Okay. So
A
he's in the
prayer meeting.
stroller. Yeah,
Oh
she's
my
having a prayer meeting. He's in the stroller sleeping. He hasn't said this word for at least half an hour. He's in the stroller sleeping. It's coming to the end of her prayer meeting. I push him in the house with the stroller. The ladies who were there with my mother saying prayers, they're just on their way out because she said, oh, my grandson's here. And then he takes out his pacifier and he says to one of my friends, oi, you beep.
They like
My
little
mum,
parents.
my
They just
mum
repeat
looked at
what
me
you say.
as she looked at me as though, what the hell?
What is this? What are you teaching this boy? What are you teaching? Oh my God, that's hilarious. My mom, because my son, he loved my mother. He stay up under
Mm,
her, and she'll just go
mm.
around the house saying stuff. So, child, she was saying, she just go around and say things around the house, and he repeats everything she said. Child, she got her check in the mail, not in the mail. She got her check deposited to her account, and she was like, "Thank you, Lord, praise God." And he go running around the house, talking about, "Thank you, Lord, praise God."
I
I'll be
say,
cracking,
kids are funny.
I'll be cracking
Kids
up.
are so funny. They're so funny.
Don't even know the context of what they're saying. They just know how
Mm.
to say it because they heard you say it. Now they know how to formulate those words. But they don't even know why they're saying it. They don't know what they're talking about when they say it. They just say it. And I was like, some of the stuff be funny and I'll let it rock. But some of the stuff you gotta nip it in the bud. 'Cause it's like, no, you cannot say that. No, no. And then they just smiling in your face like it's funny because they don't know the context. They don't understand what they're saying is wrong. They don't know why it was heard or why it was said or whatever. But yeah, so that's something now that we're navigating. We're trying to watch what we say because child, he listens to everything. And when I be crashing out and stuff on, if you want to call it crashing out, when I be going off and stuff on YouTube, he be in the room. My mom. A lot of time he don't hear, you know what I mean, like that level of energy. He don't hear that. But it's just like me and
No,
mama
it's
could just
just
be
it slips out. It
Yeah, like
slips
me and
out
Mama be
sometimes when
running.
you least expect it and you forget that they're there. But I remember he was in the back of the car in his car seat, and I was like, because he was at that stage where he was just repeating things ad infinitum. He would just repeat things, and there was just certain words that he would get. And he would not stop saying them. And I would be going, oh God,
Oh,
please, please.
and it'd be embarrassing because then it's like, oh, why are you saying this? But
Yeah.
child, we got 2 more minutes left before we end the live. Let's play a little bit more of the video, and then we'll do our
Yeah.
last commentary and then wrap it up. You think so? I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be good.
Okay, all right, let's get into it.
Absolutely happy to be married. It's just so much. Like my life is so chaotic. It's beautiful chaos at the end of the day though, because my person, I'm so happy I married Christopher Tolliver. I took his last name, so you know I love him. Because I love my name. Jessica Robin Moore sounds great.
It's
Packaged
so
up.
good.
You can sell it to anybody. Now I add a Tolliver, so it's Jessica Robin Moore Tolliver. You know I love you. I sound like a they, them. All them damn names. You know what I mean? But I am very, very happy. I am. And I actually have joy. Like, because I found someone who I'm not gonna say he didn't care about who Jess Hilarious was. He knew that's a character. You know, he knew that. And it's a lot of Jessica Robin Moore Tolliver in Jess Hilarious, but that's my brand. That I take that hat off at night when, you know, I'm with my husband. He wanted to know who I was and, you know, what makes me happy, what brings me joy outside of, you know, the industry that I'm in. You know, he didn't care about that. And that's what I love. I never had that. Never.
Wow. How did you guys meet?
I met him in Baltimore. And look, he from Baltimore, born and raised too. And I was like, I'm not doing no more niggas from Baltimore because they all like, I'm not. They take me back to where I don't want to be, you know? But he's so well-rounded because he was contracted with the army. So he lived in Kuwait for like 4 years and he lived in Thailand. And he's well-rounded. You would never even know. He ain't even really got the accent until he get mad. Then you hear all the you and the do and the two. And I'm like, damn, I was trying to get away from that. But I met him in Baltimore. I was getting crabs. This was February 23rd, 2023. I was just finishing up an episode of Breakfast Club. I was guest co-host and I caught the train down. Me, my sister, and my homegirl went to go get some crabs. He coming there. He's sitting at the end of the bar and he meeting his peoples. They knew who I was, but he wasn't really scoping or anything. He was just like down there conversating with them. And he's a truck driver. So he was like on a stop. And I tried to buy him around the shots. He didn't drink, didn't smoke. He do now because I'm a little crazy, but yeah, he didn't. And so I was like, I like you, you know what I mean? And I'm buying shots and he ain't drinking none of them. So I get up and I go to the bathroom and you never know how drunk you are until you stand up. And I'm like, sis, walk me to the bathroom because I got to walk past him, but I'm drunk as shit. She was like, all right, cool. We walked past or whatever. And I was like, I hope you're not watching me walk away. And I turned around and he wasn't. And I was like, that's fucked up, you know. But I came out and I could tell he was getting up, you know, because he was ready to leave. But he was like, I would like to take you out. I want to get to know you outside of this environment. You know, when you sober and everything, I want to get to know who you are, you know.
And then it was...
that's it. A week later, he took me on a date and I haven't left his side since.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Yes, 3 years. I'm happy about that.
I love that for you. I mean, you went through a lot, man. It's, by the way, a lot of it's in the book.
Yes.
You didn't hold back about how you let him know about your baby daddy.
Yeah.
You let him know where some of the things went wrong there. But you guys have figured this out.
Yeah.
Like, you really seem to have figured it out.
Yeah, we did.
Well, what was the motivation behind even like, let me tell this story. I mean, I know you've told stories. You've been open about your relationship with him. You guys done the pod. Was it not the pod? It was,
it was a YouTube series that we developed.
Series, right.
Co-parenting therapy. We used to do those, but like I really wanted to put it into like a piece of literature, our story, because, girl, I just feel like social media today, right? You'll go down these rabbit holes and TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, whatever you're on, and you see like there is a real category or like a real like thing where people want to stay stagnant and stay dysfunctional, and they love toxicity. They feed off of that. And the co-parenting conversations outside of marriage or whatever, it's like baby mamas and bitter baby daddies and everybody. And they are talking about how much they hate the co-parent. Like it's not going to affect your children. Like your kids ain't got to see this. Like there has been a bad stigma put on couples that don't stay together. Like they feel like once you meet somebody, you have a baby, you're in love, all the things, y'all break up. Now that's the end of it. You take the kid, I'm going to take this. We can't even be cool. Like, fuck my baby mama. You got sexy red. That's like, she probably gonna get mad again. I don't care. You got sexy red that's like, fuck my baby dad. It's like so many. Yeah. It's like, that's an audience. Yeah. That like really, look, I'm gonna sum it up. Yo, on this book press tour, I sat and I did many podcasts, right? And I go and do this one in particular. And as soon as I sat down, I can tell they didn't read the book, but as soon as I sat down, the one girl's like, yes, finally, we got somebody who finally wrote a Fuck My Baby Daddy book. Cause bitch, I can't wait to tell you about mine. So I was like, yeah, you clearly did not read the book and you clearly don't know me. That's never been me. That's never been my story. Me and Ron, I've never been able to say that about Ron. Now, in the beginning of the book, chapter 1 through maybe 4,
some things went down.
Yes.
I mean, you were young, it was a little toxic.
Right.
You were
I've never, cause you got to think about it. Yo, you once loved this person. You once, and although y'all not going to be together, y'all can still come together and be friends, even if you ain't best friends like me and Rome. Like, you can still build a bond that's healthy for y'all two. Because y'all gotta have the mindset for these kids and, the right mindset for these kids, the right mentality. And y'all can raise the kids effectively. Like, you don't have to hate each other.
It requires, though, number one, it requires you, to put your children first. Right? It requires a lot of work. Actually be mindful about doing that. But it also requires you to have forgiveness. And I don't know, I feel like you actually like your baby.
I do. I do. That's my guy.
And you give him almost you understand his history and his background, and maybe why you can kind of not just and some of his behavior. You can make a decision it ain't for you.
Yes.
But you can give him grace in some of his maybe shortcomings or things that he didn't do right in that relationship. And that's hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially when they still got
in it. You got feelings. Yeah. And I always say that.
You say in the book, don't be trying to jump around. Don't jump around in and out of sex.
No, please. No, stop fucking your baby daddy. Don't do it. Don't do it, because that's like false hope in a sense. You know what I mean? And
more confusion.
It's more confusion.
Yeah. It's hard enough, right?
Yeah. And you're being led on, and then vice versa. You got some guys that the baby mom leads on. Like, I've seen that. I've seen it happen before. And I know the most complicated thing to do is co-parent with somebody who you feel like you despise, or you feel like despises you. You feel like there's no end. Like, he hurt me so bad. And that's what me and Rome went through in the beginning. I felt like he hurt me so bad. I was trying to show up to be the most bitterest of bitters. Like, I was trying to be a bitter baby mama and the best parent for Ashton. And that's like oil and water. That don't go. You know what I mean? Because it confuses your kids too, because I'm walking around angry, holding all of this negativity and energy, and I'm angry most of the time at his dad, but I'm projecting on him. And then I start seeing that in my son, like, he messing up in school, he talking back to me, he's being disrespectful, defiant, oppositional, and all that. And I'm like, well, Dad, what's wrong with you? And it's like, you are what's wrong with him. And it didn't take me a lot of time to see that, but how me and Rome got past everything he had done to me, I had to start realizing that this is bigger than me. This has nothing to do with me. Rome came from a traumatic childhood, right? He found his mom dead at 10, and he was the one to find her. That is how he describes it, to be the worst day of his life. Like, nothing comes close to that feeling, and it still affects him now. And I think by his family not getting him the necessary help to teach him how to navigate, or help him navigate with that loss, or, to cope with mourning your mom. You know, he was her only child. You know, and then his life was uprooted at 10, and he has a different household to go live into. I think what he started doing was self-medicating on women, like with women, like as he got older, because he never got any professional help with that. Mm-hmm. And I was able to understand that and change my mindset and my mentality toward him. Like, okay, this shit is bigger than me. Like, I got to give him a little grace. He got to see somebody though. He need professional help. But I could tell I was like the first step toward therapy because he had never got vulnerable enough to share those things.
What's interesting too is like, you might not have gotten to that.
All right, this is a good conversation. I'm gonna pause it right there so we can do a quick commentary break. But yo, that's deep. That's really deep. The reason why it's deep for me is because I absolutely understand it. I really do. Like us as women, sometimes, you know, when you're in a relationship, and especially once you start like spending more time together, and that relationship progresses and people open up with one another. And as a woman, you hear and you see like that this man that you with has severe traumas or has been through things that has scarred them and made them, you know, or have a impact on who they are as this man that you're dating. You as a woman, and I don't know if all women do this, but I mean, I do. She said she did. And we'll hear from you, Imani. I know you'll chime in just a bit. But this is literally like the story of my life. Like, I used to make excuses. I used to be a punching bag because it was just like the experiences that I went through was not the experiences that this person went through. And I felt bad for him. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, yo, I get it. Like, I understand, you know, what you've been through. And at a young age, it's like you accept the toxicity. Like, okay, you've been through this, so that makes you act like this. You've been through that, so that makes you act like this. And you just keep giving passes for that, right? And when you're young, it's easier for you to do. When you start getting older, you like, yo, at what point do you start to get healing? Like, at what point do you start to like deal with this in a positive way, in a healthy way? Because the unhealthy way is lash out on the people closest to you. Lash out, you know what I'm saying? Like, that started becoming weird to me, and it started becoming like something that I just could not tolerate anymore. And I'm just like, okay, I have empathy still, and I still got love for you still. And I don't know what kind of place I am right now when it comes to my co-parenting situation. It's like on again, off again still. But it's just like that within the relationship dynamic was something that I could no longer tolerate. And nobody's perfect. I made my choices and decisions that in the relationship wasn't the best as well. But it's like when people are like that, like they've been through some stuff and they don't get the proper healing and the proper help. You know what I mean? Like, they let it bottle up inside of them and become volcanoes and things like that. That volcano is going to erupt. And if you're close to that volcano, you're going to get burned by the lava. And a lot of men or women also become that in relationships because they get into relationships and they have this baggage that they bring with them based off of their, you know, their past experiences and things that they've been through that they still continue to carry with them. And it's up to that person to find help and healing for that on their own. Like, you could tell them until you're, you know, blue in the face. Like, yo, you need to deal with this. You need to deal with this trauma. You need to deal with these things that you carry around, this baggage that you carry around. But if they don't want to, or if they're in denial of that, There's nothing you could do. And then when you go into, now you're co-parenting with that person, right? You have to look past all of that. You know what I mean? Like, because at this point, it's not about you, it's not about me, it's about the child. It is about the child. And so, put your feelings on the shelf about how you feel about me. I put my feelings on the shelf on how I feel about you. What are we doing as parents for this child that's in the best, interest of the child? That's it. And the conversations that we have is only about that. That's what it should only be about, nothing else. Um, and as you seen what she said, which I think a lot of men gotta understand, they do this too. She said that she was going out of her way to wreak havoc and be nasty work because she was hurt, right? He hurt her so bad, and then she just started being nasty work towards him. The crazy thing is, a lot of men do that too. They won't admit it, and they won't say it, but they do. And it's not to say that their feelings and their hurt is invalid. It's just to say, like, that level of energy and those type of response, or trauma responses or triggers that they may have can sometimes be the same. I don't think that type of response is specific to any gender. I don't think it's specific to male or female. I think it's about the person, right? Like, these people will go out their way to hate you and be nasty work all the time because they feel as though you broke their heart or they're hurt or something like that, and they want to get you, or they want to get back at you, or they're frustrated with you, or whatever it is. And we know that's not healthy. Like, you can't keep moving forward with life that way. That's not healthy. You're not going to get anything out of that. You're going to get a lot of fights. You're going to get a lot of arguments. And when you're co-parenting, what that does is, like she said, it's going to boil down and trickle down onto your child. Your child always seeing y'all fighting and going back and forth and arguing. Your child seeing your energy is bad and you dismissing them and you upset with them because you just got off the phone and you was in an argument with the mother or the father or whatever like that. Your child sees all of that. They're little sponges. We just talked about it. They're like little parrots and sponges. They hear everything and they absorb everything. They absorb your energy. They hear what you say. They watch what you do. And when you have a dysfunctional connection and relationship when it comes to co-parenting and y'all are still fighting and not able to get along, your child is going to see that. And once they get old enough, they're going to repeat stuff. What they hear you saying about the father, when they go and spend time with the father, they're going to repeat it to him. What they hear you saying about the mother, when they go and spend time with the mother, they're going to repeat it to her. And now the child is in the middle. You know what I mean? And so, like, those type of toxic, dysfunctional, co-parenting relationships, they don't help children either. A lot of people think they're doing their children a service because they're not together. No, you're not together because me and you broke up. This don't have nothing to do with the kid. We're not together, but we have this child together. And so we got to figure out how to navigate through, that in a healthy way. Not for us, but for our child, or the child. And it's just like, if you can find a way to do that, and I do think what Jess Hilarious has spoke about and what's in her book is that it did take some time for her and her the father of her child, her first son. It took some time for them to get to that point because they started to see that, like, the dysfunction between us is affecting our child. And we can't do that. Like, it's not about me and you, it's about the kid. And then once you can get to that place, you know what I mean, where it becomes like we can healthily co-parent and not hate each other or not try to go at each other's throats every time we see each other, that's going to benefit our child better. And I just like that. I like that conversation, and I'm really interested to read her book. But anyway, Imani, go ahead, girl, because we're going to wrap it up after this. I want
Yeah,
to.
I mean, what she says, it's true. Is true. One of the things she said, there are bad baby daddies, but there are also bad baby mamas. It's not just one sided. And the key thing is is that it's not, forgiveness is not about what somebody deserves. It's about what your children deserve. Um, you know, I think it's really, really great that she can reason and say and actually say that she played her part in that process. She was toxic because she was hurt, but then she started to understand a lot of her son's father's behaviors because of his past traumas that were unhealed and that he hadn't had the help that he needed in the first place. And I think it's, how she's come out on the other side, because she realized that her anger and bitterness towards him was affecting her son. And he was the most important person in the relationship. I definitely want to read her book on co parenting. And also, what I thought is the thing that people should also take from this is that she's come out on the other side and she's in a new relationship. And I loved how she talked about how she met her new husband and how they get on so well. So you can find happiness after, bitter breakups. But a lot of people do forget there is a child in the middle of this, and your child will repeat what either parent says about the other. And if you can work through that, it's great. Some people don't manage it, but it's not, like you said, specific to a gender. There are bad baby mamas and bad baby daddies, as we said. And I think it's really great how she's worked through all this stuff and taken accountability for what she input into making that relationship more toxic. It really is about the the children, and the fact that she moved from being bitterness to from bitterness to forgiveness of her son's father. I definitely want to read her book. And like I said, she's out on the other side and she met someone new. Just like myself, I'm not with my baby daddy, but I think I had done a lot of healing before I met the man that I'm with now. And we both had children and we had to blend a family. And if you bring some of the stuff that you have from a past relationship, it can create a lot of issues because, you're suspicious about certain things that you may have faced before. That's why it's important to heal your own traumas, to speak to someone, to talk to people. I still have friends, that still, they're in arguments with their baby daddies and their kids are in their 30s. I'm like, what? But you guys split up about 30 years ago. What's going on? You know, and it is important to remember that it is about the children. It really is about the relationship, making it easier for the children and to co-parent the children together because you need to make decisions together. Like I said, I had many moments of talk to the hand when I used to drop my son, at the front door. So a lot of us have been through it, but we worked it out. It wasn't about us. It was about us doing the best for our child, even though we were in separate households. And there are many people that are in this situation, and it's not specific to race. It is people. People break up, people have bad relationships, and people move on. And you can move on. And it's better that you move on. And it's easier, especially if you're in another relationship, if you don't have a toxic relationship with your ex, because it can affect your current relationship as well. But I really, really want to read her book. And this is a great conversation. She's really, really pragmatic about what she did, what her baby daddy did, and what a trauma he went through. Finding his mum unalive at 10, that is traumatic. you know and especially if you don't get help after the fact. And he was her only child, so it's not as though he had siblings that he could share that pain with. So that must have been tough for him. So yeah, I thought it was really good. I loved the conversation. It was really good.
Right, exactly. And when it comes to women, a lot of times we're like that because we're very loving, we're very understanding, we're very emotional creatures. And so it's just like, sometimes we come into encounters with guys that we like or whatever, or we attracted to, and then we wind up getting into relationships and stuff with them, but they're very broken. We're getting into relationships with broken men, and there's men that's getting into relationships with broken women. And this is sometimes what comes from it, right? Because of course you're rolling around in the bed sheets and stuff like that, and then now you have an offspring, you have a little child, and whether you in the relationship still or you're leaving out a relationship and the child is there, as adults, we got to do better to just make sure like we're putting the child first, because that's now what's important. Our relationship is no longer important because it's over. If it's over, it's not important. We need to focus on the child. But I think on both sides, like just like even Jess was saying, but if we're realistic about it, with the tug of war that I think sometimes comes, I think it's because one person really still wants to be with the other person, but they're not being honest and truthful about that. Like they really desire to still be in a relationship. I think people who have healthy co-parenting relationships are people who have made peace with the relationship part of it being over, right? And they're like, yeah, we focusing on the child. We'll do whatever's needed to do. We're gonna stay civil and stuff like that because it's about the kids now. It's not about you. I don't care about you no more. Not to say that wrong, but I mean honestly, I think when you're in a back and forth and a tussle, with someone, even while you're attempting to co-parent, but it's like you're early out of the relationship, that's going to pour into your co-parenting, right? Like you are broken up and you have this child, but feelings are still swimming around. And it's either one person or the other person or both people that really still have feelings for the other person. And that's why I think a lot of the fighting happens. And just like Jess Hilarious says, like, yo, I went out of my way to be like terrible because I was hurt. My heart was broke. And I was doing that geared towards him, but I didn't realize that it was affecting the child. And once I got more mature and I started to pay attention to that, she said that's when she was like, okay, let me switch up. I have to switch up my energy, within this co parenting situation. It's like we're co parenting, but I'm still pissed at you because if it wasn't for you doing this or if it wasn't for you doing that, we probably would still be together. And I really desire to still be with you. But these things did happen. They ended the relationship. And now we have this child. And we got to navigate through all of that at the same time. But we still need to understand that the most important person in this predicament is the child. Like, whatever we got going on, that's not important anymore. Now this little vessel is important. And so I think that's dope. You know what I mean? I think, that comes with maturity. I think that comes with, just going around the hamster wheel too many times and saying this don't work. I do something else. You know what I mean? Or just moving on, finding love again, finding, happiness in your life. Whatever it was that you didn't have in a previous relationship, you can find that in another relationship, and that helps you, I think, along the way, in not being bitter anymore and angry anymore about whatever it was you went through in your previous relationship, because you're too focused on having fun and happiness and experiencing love with this new person and having these experiences with that person that you enjoy and that you desire, and you love your child, and you're not holding on to that relationship anymore. That's my personal opinion. I don't know if anybody agrees with me. I think that when it gets like And this typically happens in the beginning. That's how I know it. It typically happens in the beginning. The fighting and the going back and forth is usually due to the fact that one of the people, or maybe both of the people, still want to be with each other and still have love for each other. But for whatever reason, it's not going to work. And they can't get over that part and just have be civil to co-parent and just focus on the child because they're still in their feelings and emotions about the breakup, or the relationship is not together no more. That's my personal opinion. Hurt, you know what I'm saying? Brokenheartedness and things like that. I think that's what comes from it a lot of time. What do you think, Imani?
Yeah, I do think that is sometimes the case. And then there are other factors, that may be in the mix. Might be DV, might be financial. There's all sorts of things that can cause it. But listen, I definitely have to go. And also, the dog needs to go out. So, are you
Okay.
okay if I just give my final thoughts on this
Yeah.
interview? I'm sorry to cut
That's
you guys short, but that conversation is definitely one we should continue. Um, you know,
You want to do a
um,
part two? We should do a part two, right?
yeah, yeah, we'll do part two on this, definitely.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say about this interview, what she talked about in this first half hour was about stepping into a new environment and trying to find her place without losing who she was. And she also talked about the pressures of being seen, judged, and sometimes misunderstood while trying to juggle motherhood and marriage, a career, and the expectations that came with being on a much bigger platform. But one of the most important lessons of in this first part is success doesn't mean that you stop struggling. You can be accomplishing your dreams and still experience doubt. You can be a mother and still need help. You can be a wife, a professional, and a public figure and still have moments when you don't know exactly what you're doing. And it doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. She also reminds us that we have to be careful about judging people based on only what we see from the outside. We see the laughter, but we don't always see the struggle that's behind that laughter. And for anybody who's ever questioned whether they're good enough, whether they're too much, or whether they belong in the room they're standing in, there is a really powerful lesson here. You don't have to become somebody else to earn your spot or your place. You can learn, you can grow, you can make mistakes, you can ask for help, you can struggle and keep moving forward. And if you're a new mother struggling emotionally, please don't interpret that struggle as failure. Postpartum depression is real, is treatable, and asking for help is an act of strength, not weakness. Um, let remember, you know, behind everybody, be they public or private, is a human being. Behind the laughter can be the pain, behind the success can be the uncertainty, and behind mistakes are the opportunity to grow. So, everybody, just don't lose yourself while you're becoming the person you're meant to be. Keep growing, keep healing, keep laughing, keep loving, and most importantly, keep being you. And thank you for giving us this time today. Love you guys. Remember, we are way too blessed to be stressed. I hope to see you on the next one. Take care and see you soon.
Okay, Imani, thank you, girl, for joining me. That's my lovely co-host, Imani. She is exiting for the evening. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all some of my final thoughts here, and then we'll, do what we always do. We're gonna end it with a boppity bop. I thank each and every one of you for joining us on this live. We probably are going to do a part two because I think the conversation is dope and it gets even deeper, y'all. So maybe we will come back and do a part two. But y'all let me know if y'all like the content. Let me know if y'all like the conversation, if it was, useful, if it, relates to any of the things that maybe you're going through currently or you've been through previously. I know it did for me. And we want to shout out to Angie Martinez platform. If y'all have not checked out her platform, please do so. And subscribe to her channel. And Jess Hilarious, y'all. She over there on the Breakfast Club. But I learned about Jess Hilarious when she was just doing comedy on her socials. That's when I first, met her and came across her. But I've seen her elevation and I think it's dope. And I know the struggle that she's been through, with the father of her child and things like that. She did do a little show or whatnot on her channel. I don't know if she still does it, where it was both of them and they would sit there with I think like her cousin, someone else, and they had some really open and real and raw conversations. I've loved content like that. I think it's great. I'm proud of Jess Hilarious. I love to see her on the Breakfast Club. She worked very hard to get there. She talked a lot about motherhood, all of the things. We heard some great things in this video and conversation with her and Angie Martinez, especially from a woman's perspective and standpoint, things that we go through as women, from being pregnant, birth, after birth, stuff like that, and then having to go on with life and figure out how to co-parent sometimes, because sometimes we don't get the happily ever after. You may want, or think that the person you have children with is going to be the person you're going to be with for the rest of your life. Sometimes, child, in life, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't end that way. But you have to keep navigating still. She talks about finding love, right? Again, a new relationship and happiness again, which gives us hope, whether we met man or woman, that if you get out of a breakup or you separate or something like that, life is not over. It's not over for you. That chapter has ended, but there can be a new chapter and it can be beautiful and you can meet your person. You really can. And you can do all of those things simultaneously. Co-parent, be in a great relationship with your new parent. I'm sorry, with your new person, and have happiness in your life. Happiness is possible, right? It is possible for us to have, but we have to just pay attention to how we have to navigate to find it. You know what I mean? And also be real about some of the things that we may be doing that's standing in the way of our happiness. Sometimes it's not a other person problem. Sometimes it's a us problem, you know? But I'm gonna go ahead and just leave out with this, okay? And then we'll get into some boppity bop bop bops. If there is one absolute truth connecting every piece of this conversation, it is this. You do not owe the world a watered down version of your soul just to make comfortable people feel safe. When you choose to live transparently, when you decide that truth matters more than popularity, the world will inevitably try to label you. They will call you too loud when you refuse to quiet your spirit. They will call you messy when you hold up a mirror to their noise. They will call you too much simply because your growth has outgrown the small, suffocating spaces they tried to keep you in, and we not staying in them. But understand this. Someone else's inability to process your depth, your volume, or your light is never your burden to carry. Clearing the air isn't about proving a point or winning a debate. It's about cleansing your atmosphere so peace can breathe. Standing firm in your boundaries isn't about malice. It's about honoring the royalty that resides within you. You do not have the strength to fit yourself into rooms you were never meant to be in. You do not have to trade your peace to validate someone else's opinion. So as we sign off this evening, y'all, I want y'all to hold on to this. And this is what we always try to do, even though people try to make it difficult for us. Protect your spirit fiercely. Love yourself without asking for permission. Own every chapter of your evolution, the loud parts, the quiet parts, the bruised parts, and the victories. Because when you walk in raw truth, anchored in love and unshakable unity, you become completely untouchable by the noise. Never forget who you are. Stand tall in your power. Keep your light blindingly bright and walk like the royalty that you are. Thank you all for sharing this space with us today. We must remain to try, y'all, to have peace, truth, and light in our lives. So I love you all. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the live. We will come back and do a part 2. And then if anybody wants to join, y'all can, you're more than welcome to do that. If you want to add some of, maybe your commentary for what it is we talking about. One of the other things that I'm going to leave with too that I loved in this interview with Jess Hilarious, and I'm sorry, I should have said that before I did my ending monologue, child from ChatGPT. As you can see, Jess Hilarious says she is from Baltimore. She is a Black woman. She speaks a certain type of way. She has a certain type of vibe that she walks around with, right? And I think what's important for us to understand is that doesn't make you less than because you operate that way. I think what is important to understand is the things that she is getting in her life now is because of those very attributes. Being who she is got her through the doors that she currently has walked through, right? So we have to remember, y'all, and it's not about just being Black. Oh my God. Okay, we're not talking about race here tonight. It's about being you. Always bet on yourself and be who you are because you're more than enough. And don't ever let nobody tell you that how you speak, how you talk, how you present yourself is not enough. Because a lot of times the biggest opportunities you get in life, you get them from being yourself. So I just wanted to leave that in the final words, y'all. We're going to end it with a boppity bop bop bop, as always. And I will talk to y'all on the next live. Thank y'all so much for joining. We do have some helplines in the chat for a lot of some of the topics that we talked about, right? That people may be suffering with or going through at the time. And so if you guys need any of that information, we do have some in the chat and I'm popping them up here on the screen right now as well. Because, child, like I said, and we always say over here, we understand us as people, we all going through something or dealing with something. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just life. Because life be lifing. So if anyone, can use any of those helplines, if it's important to you, there they are. And that is your business. But we wish everybody the best. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will talk to y'all on the next live, y'all. This is Golden. Imani already peaced out, child, because it's later there for us than it is for me. But it's Golden and Imani, and we're out, y'all. So bye. Talk to you on the next one.
I got people forgetting folks in you. That part. Every laugh ain't harmless. Every post ain't just jokes. Some people smiling online, crying in real life. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Why? You don't know what they carry when the camera done. Broken souls throw stones and hide their hands. Cowards in comment sections playing God again. Karma don't miss. Karma don't miss. And healing's still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. Yeah. YouTube streets messy, everybody got a target. Creators throwing dirt like hate became a market. Mocking people daily, that spirit look haunted. Tell me who raised y'all, this behavior garbage. Laughing at depression, exposing folks' trauma. Then that shock when tragedy follow behind you. The evil energy, boomerang proper. Come pull up selling like a midnight robber. And honestly, do you watch my live? I talk truth, pain, growth, tears, real vibes. Not everybody built for the games online. Some folks want insult from losing their mind. That's facts, no cap. Y'all did the humiliation. Every live stream feel like public execution. Views over souls, cloud over humans. Then wonder why the whole world mentally ruined. Somebody mama crying at night. Somebody daughter hurt inside. Somebody praying not to give up while bullets screenshot painful life. Shame on you, shame. You need healing too. Only damaged people wake up daily, trying to damage others too. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Tearing them down. You don't know what they fighting when the live stream done. Baby, no. Keyboard killers acting tough online. Whole time spiritually broken inside. Karma don't miss no. Karma don't skip souls either. Every hateful seed gon' meet the reaper. So to the hurt and bully people, listen close. You matter more than these demons online. These chicks bitter, these dudes weird. Obsessed every day, like why you still here? Refreshing my page while pretending you don't care. Whole personality built off hate and fear. Talk slick online, real life timid. Broken inside, everybody can feel it. Projecting their wounds while the comments all cheering. That ain't straight, baby, that sickness concealed. And I said what I said. Yeah, some of these creators need therapy bad. Not another live stream drag. Not another fake outrage cash grab scam. Y'all bully for a living, that's sad. Spirit look bankrupt, dusty and mad. And the people encouraging it just is trash. Laugh now, karma got a long memory past. Because words cut deep. So deep. And some people never recover. To everybody bullied online, you are not weak because you hurt. You are not crazy because you feel pain. And don't let these empty souls convince you your life got no value. The loudest bullies usually fighting demons they never healed from. That ain't an excuse, but it's the truth. And to the bullies, get help, seriously. This obsession will tear his strangers apart every day. That ain't normal. Enough is enough. We need love more than ever now. More than ever. Too many souls out here barely hanging on somehow. No more glorifying painful views. No more clowning her forever new. No more mob attacks for entertainment. That darkness got consequences too. Karma don't miss. Karma don't miss. And healing still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. They handed us the script, but we don't gotta read it no more. Yeah. Same old story, different page. Same old ink on a different stage. Got my own people on the corner, pushing me closer to the edge with rage. Willie Lynch probably laughing in his grave. Seeing centuries later, we still enslaved. House divided, envy contagious. The blueprint still working. Ain't that outrageous? Yeah, stack the odds, casino game. Bet against ourselves just to chase some fame. Another brother falls, everybody crying. Last week behind closed doors, they was quietly plotting, trying to dim his light, cause his future too bright. Crabs in the bucket pulling down every flight. Generational wounds pass hand to hand, fighting each other instead of the man with the plan. Iron chains became gold links. Different metal, same prison when nobody thinks. Freedom ain't jewelry, freedom is soul. Can't buy liberation if your spirit been sold. We just echoes in the barrel, spinning circles every day. History whispers softly, but we keep looking away. They handed us the script, now we acting every part. Time to break the cycle, time to heal the broken heart. This ain't the dream they marched for, this ain't the future they could see. This whole thing was a setup, it's time we set ourselves free. Same concrete soaked with tears, same pain carried through the years. But we tear each other down for applause, temporary likes while nobody heals. Call you a sellout when you lead a block. Soon as success make the whole world stop. But the real betrayal ain't broke the flight. It's poisoning your people out of envy and spite. You mad cause this watch gleam, mad cause our bag gleam. Meanwhile the architects of the cage still counting money behind the scenes. They love the chaos, love the smoke, love watching family lose all hope. Another headline, another mother cry, another generation acting while they dying. The trap ain't poverty, the trap is division. The chains ain't visible, they're built from our decisions. We carry anger in our chests, years of trauma, years of stress, then pass it to our own bloodline. Instead of putting evil to rest, love became weakness, unity became strange, clout became currency. Everybody chained. Round and round we go, history keeps repeating, cause nobody let it go. But tonight we change the pole, we build every heart. This ain't the life they believe. The chains only live if we choose not to leave. Let the echoes disappear, let the barrel finally break. Leave the hate where it belongs, for our children's sake. No more jealousy, no more self-destruction, no more borrowed hatred. It's unity or it's nothing. We free. We free.
It's a collective thing, you know. Yeah. High freaks. We just rising. Watch the elevation. Yeah. I used to look for God in in the clouds, had my head down. Now I see the kingdom in the people, it's a spread now. Love is a currency, we don't need a gold crown. We lifting everybody up, we don't let us soul drown. It's that eternal glow, yeah, that spiritual fastest. Turning all our trials into heavenly access. We moving past the labels and the religious brackets. When love is the language, we don't need a tactic. Love is love, it's the way that we climb, leaving all the heavy, bitter pieces behind. It's in the sunshine, our soul intervention, living in the higher, holy dimension. Deep in the collective, we finding the frequency. A brotherhood rising with spirit decency. No more division, we killing the vacancy. Filling the void with a holy complacency. From the concrete roof to the celestial heights, we shining together like cityscapes. Light, it's a long road home, but the vision is clear. Love is the only thing conquering fear. Elevation isn't just about going up. It's about bringing everyone with you. One soul, one heart, one vision. One vision mission. Love is love, it's the way that we climb, leaving all the heavy, bitter pieces behind. It's an ascension, a soul intervention, living in a higher, holy dimension. Collective energy, no one left behind. That's the elevation. Ascension.
They don't know her like I do. Nah. She moved through the city with her hair held high. Pretty brown skin with a storm inside. Everybody see the glow, they don't know the pressure. Smile so warm, but her heart no weather. Late nights riding while the skyline blur. Trying not to cry when the memories occurred. Had to learn fast, everybody ain't loyal. Some people love you long as they control you. Now she move careful, energy expensive. Too many fake vibes hiding in the friendship. Used to give love with her hands wide open. Now every scar got the whole vibe frozen. They don't know her like I. No, they don't know her like I. She goes by golden, soft voice, deep soul, hope or glowing. She goes by golden. City lights dancing with her heart stay open. Long dark roads, but she still stay focused. Everybody watching, but they don't really know her. Too much grace for the games they throwing. Real love, rare, so spirits they got it. Beautiful soul, but the pain left marks in it. Mirror tell the truth when the lights go dim. All the things she carry weight heavy within. She survived nights she don't even speak on. Still finding peace, but the whole world ain't wrong. Funny how the love disappear when you're healing. Funny how the fate come around when you win. Now she trusts God more than people intend. Just cause smiles hot and being hidden in the deep. She's still soft-hearted, but she way less naive. Can't keep pouring love where there's nothing received. Still dancing slow through the hurt and confusion. Trying not to lose herself chasing illusions. She survived the fire, still glowing through the smoke. Still sad, still dangerous, still chosen. She goes back golden. Snow so deep made the whole room notice. Heavy lies couldn't break what was chosen. Still standing tall while the whole world folding. She goes back golden. Heartbreak turned to pentatic. Now the tears got rhythm when she's singing. And they still don't know her like I. much time, spend too much time letting outside voices shake the mirror. But at the end of the night, when the lights fade, when the city cried, when the tears dried, we still got